Alif Hamilton in the yellow, getting off to a solid start. We expected that. Kalen Chin has gone alongside with him. Josh Perwin and Tadashi also very good. Rakhmat and Sabino dropped down. Jason Tay has been left behind, but it's Alif Hamilton, Alex Young, who has got off to the start that he really needed to. And Tadashi is putting real pressure on Kalen Chin.
Wow, look at that. He's really all over the back of him. Oh, that's Perwin. Perwin's in front. Kalen Chin is trying to come back. Perwin somehow managed to overtake into second position. And look at them, the two Australians side by side. Josh Perwin now gets through. And who's got the DRS? They come down the back straight. I think Perwin has it because he was just behind Kalen at the beginning of the lap. So he's able to pull away. And now Ayman is going down the outside of Kalen as well. Now with Josh in front, can he close the gap to Hamilton? Look at that, Andika following them through as well.
Down to fourth. The lead for Alif Hamilton is 2 seconds. Josh Perwin in P2. Tadashi 3. Kalen Chin is the man now in P4. Must have had a problem. Nakib in the blue has made a move and got himself up into P5. We expect a lot from this young fella, Mohamed Nakib. He's got Kalen Chin in his sights. Kalen moves to the left. Nakib, well, he's got himself up into P4. Brilliant drive. Can Kalen cut him off? Yes, he can. But Nakib holds the inside line as they go around these double 2 left-hand corners. Brilliant from Nakib. Started in P9. Got himself up to P4 inside 8 minutes. Fadli Rakhmat moves up to P5 ahead of Jason Tay. Sabino drops from 5 to 7 and didn't do anything wrong. Now he employs the DRS. He tries to go around the outside. Tay, Fadli, 3 abreast. It's not meant to be like that. Fadli able to hold on. Jason Tay in 5th, Fadli 6th, Sabino for Macau in P7. Terrific dueling between those 3.
In general, closing the gap, but he's also dragging Perwin and Akeem, who are right behind him in the DRS zone.
Indeed, Josh Perwin is closing in.
Alif.
Right, pits.
Alif and Josh both pitting now. They're going for the early pit stop. There's still over 21 minutes to go. This is when Alif really needs to get the hammer down.
Looking in the pits.
Oh, he's lost a position. Perwin has got him in the pit stop. Perwin has overtaken in the pit stop. Somehow, he's managed to do a quicker stop. I wonder if Perwin has changed all 4 tyres, maybe.
Maybe trying to have a little look at Josh Perwin very early on.
Oh,
Hamilton goes through the inside. Perwin tries to defend. Hamilton swats him aside.
oh, look at that. He's in front of Alif. Alif is fighting back, though. This is theoretically the battle for the lead right now. Alif runs wide, though. Nakib has a chance, so he looks to the inside. Wow, they're not in the lead, but this is the battle for the lead once all the pit stops are played out.
Goes on the outside. Alif, I know, will defend. Alif defends expertly. That is, again, that's just brilliant driving from Alif Hamilton because the move was on there from Nakib, but he's still got to move on the inside. Alif goes on the outside and then goes on the inside, and Perwin goes through into the lead. Josh Perwin takes the lead while Alif and Nakib were dueling with each other.
I think Nakib got caught out because Alif braked a bit early in the last corner and they both had contact. Oh, Nakib goes down the inside now. Side by side contact. Oh, Nakib's now up to 1. Can Josh defend P2? Alif trying to go around the outside in the yellow car is unable to at the moment. This is quality racing of the highest stuff. Now Alif, he's on the outside, he's on the inside for the next corner. Josh seizes him and gives him a bit of room. Wow, they're side by side all the while. Nakib is moving away to the front. Will Josh try and mug him into this next corner? Whoa, look at this. Alif and Perwin fighting again. Whoa, Perwin gets through back into second position. The Australian doing a good job, obviously, at the DRS. Alif now makes an uncharacteristic mistake and drops back.
Can he get in the slipstream? He deploys DRS as they all do, seemingly down this back straight. Inigo Anton goes on the inside of Luis Moreno. Ayman Hazik tries to get through as well. Ayman Hazik does get through on Moreno. Moreno battling for his life. He looks back on Inigo Anton. Contact galore. They've got to be careful of being thrown out of the game.
Which way is Nassi going to defend? He just has to cover the inside. Whoa, Brody Steen has to think about it. I thought for a second he was going to go between both of them. But no, he didn't. Sabino made up 2 positions in this last lap.
Let's go back up to the front, and Mohamed Nakib He's worked his way from P9 to take the victory in the first final of eRacing GP Global Edition. Second, Josh Purwin. Alif Hamilton has to be content with what for him is a devastating third. Tadashi in P4, Fadli Rahmat for Indonesia in 5. Jason Tay makes it 2 Singaporeans in the top 6. So, terrific stuff. Nakib we expected to be good, but when he only qualified 9th fastest, Alex Young, wow, we didn't really expect it to work like that, but the pit stop strategy really seemed to work for him.
Yeah, it did. It went very well. You know, he got the pit stop strategy very well, but I think where Nakib really won this race was those first few laps, because it would have been very easy to try and get involved. He didn't rush it. You know, he started at position 9, but he managed to make his way up slowly. We only saw him, I think, on lap 5. We didn't even notice him. But he made those moves. And what he didn't do well yesterday was he tried to make an overtake. He'd have contact and lose a bunch of time. But this time he was more surgical, a little bit like Alif Hamilton. We actually have Nakib in the line. Nakib, are you there?
Hello, everyone.
Ah, good. We can hear you. We'll just try and speak up a bit. You're a bit quiet. You have to take us through that race. How was it?
That was by far one of the best races of my life. Starting from 9th, getting to go all the way to the lead, that was insane.
Yeah, really, really good job. What was the strategy in the first few laps? Because you didn't quite get the start you wanted, huh?
Yeah, I tried to get a lot of places in the first corner. Didn't work out, only managed to get 1. So from then on, tried to keep patient. Based on last race yesterday, I was a bit too eager sometimes, so tried to keep it calm, tried to make the moves stick cleanly, and yeah, it worked out well.
At that battle then with Alif and Berwin, we couldn't tell which way that was going to go. How was it from your point of view?
Mate, the moment I went out of the pits, came just side by side with Alif, it was game on. I knew it was game on, so tried to keep within the DRS range, and he did a cheeky move in the final corner, tried to let me overtake in so he could get the DRS. Didn't work out, so in the end Josh took the lead, and I knew I had to make the move then and that moment straight, and sticked in the first corner and just tried to pull away as fast as I could.
Wow, so the DRS has got a big effector, so that's going to come into play when we go to some of the tracks with even longer straights, isn't it?
Definitely. The DRS is really strong, so whoever has it, they're going to win.
Okay, well done, Mohammed
Thank
Nakib. Really good job. You recovered some points. I think you might be 2nd or 3rd in the championship now. So looking ahead for the future, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, that was Mohammed Nakib. Well done. Our winner for today, Des.
Great to hear from Mohammed Nakib, and that was a really good recovery after a not great qualifying series on Friday. He's able to pull within 18 points of Alif Hamilton, who, despite only coming 3rd, only in inverted commas, leads the overall championship with 65 points. We've got a championship, Alex Young.
Yeah, we do. It's certainly very close. As we're seeing with the DTM class, it's very close racing as well. I think I'm very excited. We've had the perfect start as far as I'm concerned. We've seen a lot of drivers up front, lots of overtaking, lots of racing, and that is the main thing.
Josh Purwin and Kaylan Chin, 2 young Australians in Kaylan Chin's place at 13 years of age. They prove that this will be a really competitive championship. Round 2 comes to your screens next week. In the meantime, from Alex, myself, Des Corkin, and the whole team who put this operation together, enjoy your racing. For them once we get back into the racing. Right, 2 groups coming your way in DTM. Gold Group A sees Alif Hamilton, Kaylan Chin, Tadashi and Leigh Sabino from Macau. They are the big 4, but there's always quick racing from Jaka Sizwoyo, Arwin Taruna, Miko Nasi and Ayman Haziq. This is a really, really strong group. It's almost the all-star group. We've had a really strong group in Group B last week. This week it moves to Group So we're now live on the track. Alex Young alongside Des Corkill.
Yeah, we are back now and getting ready to watch we're on the practice sessions. 2 more minutes to go with practice. Looks like you're frozen a little bit there, mate. But fastest so far, Jaka Susoyo with a 51.7. It's a very quick lap time indeed. As we go through these corners now, let's see, maybe we can follow a driver. This is Inigo Anton. Which part of the track is this? I've done this track so often, but I don't actually recognize it. Okay, going to the last corner. Into turn, start finish straight, go to the pit wall on your right, turn 1. Some more brake as you go through here. Then harden the power. You can see the pit exit down there. It's just on your right there. Now come to turn 2. Sorry, wrong part. I was thinking of the wrong part. This is now Beckett's and Maggotts are going through right now. Far end of the track. I'm so used to the old part of the track. That used to be turn 1. It's not turn 1 anymore. That was in fact the turn 14 we just gone through. Now down the long hanger straight up to Stowe. Stowe is your right hander here. Carrying lots of speed through here, and it is a great corner indeed. You can overtake through there. Now a bit of a short straight coming to the last bit of the track. Turn 16 and 17. Club. Very important to get a good exit out here. Cars are always squirming to try and get traction. Now for the last corner here. Just about full throttle, and now on to the start, finish straight.
So we had half a flying lap there from Alex Young. No doubt we'll get to the old part of the track. In fact, let's just stay on with Inigo because it looks like he's staying on there. So we're through Abbey and Farm. Right-hand corner into Village. Talk us now, though, through the loop, and this is probably the most difficult part of the circuit.
Yeah, super technical. This turn 4. Now, he's slowing down now. Inigo Anton there. Maybe we can try and follow Jaka Susoyo instead.
In the same livery, Jaka, just to make things just a little bit confusing for us.
Yeah, just a little bit confusing. So we're going to the last part of the track here. 18 seconds left to practice. This is a great track. It's very fast and flowing. Like you said, those first few corners though are very technical now. It's a new part of the track. It makes it a little bit more tricky to do. But you know, a lot of drivers on the weekly leaderboard saying that Silverstone was very tricky to get the right lap time.
It's a long track as well. It's close to 6 kilometers. So that's a real test for all the races out there, Alex. Concentration, particularly in tomorrow's final, I think is going to be absolutely paramount. The 40-minute final tomorrow. We've got 2 races in Group A. Qualifying has now started. We've got a pole setting followed by a reverse grid. We are on board still with Jacka. Let's have a look at Kaylan Chin. We'll talk about the other key races in a while. But Kaylan Chin had a race double last weekend, Alex.
Yeah, he did. He was really impressive in Group A. He's been 4 on the final. Drop back obviously. Now here we are going through turns 3 and as he goes down this longish straight. Now we go into Priory. Priory's a great has so much speed to his barrel rolling here. And purple on the second one. So that's looking very good indeed. Now to the Muffield, turn 7. And look at the lanes, I don't know the score there. How long we go on of understeer through Cops. Whoa, that cost him though. As we come to the end of Sector 2, down one of the most famous sequence of corners, you got Maggotts, Beckett's, turn 13, turn 14, now onto the hanger straight, this massive long straight. He is above board in Sector 2, so he was very happy with that. Now down to turn 15, Stowe, another one of the famous corners that carries so much speed through it. Can overtake down the inside, down the outside through this corner. We've seen it many times in the past. Another short straight, now the last few corners of the track. The corners you have to be precise and accurate. Through Vale Club, turns 16 and 17. On the throttle, uses just all the road there and a bit more through the last corner. Now across the start, finish straight. And at the moment, Kaylan is on pole position.
Terrific effort from Kaylan Chin. the youngster race out of Australia. He's got the better of Tadashi. He is on pole. Alif Hamilton not far behind. Just 200ths of a second behind Alif Hamilton. Has he got time? What are they? Yeah, he's probably got time for one more lap out there, because there's 2.5 minutes left in this qualification. Let's stick with the championship leader, because it's normally Alif who shows the rest of the way, Alex Young.
Yes, Alif does show the rest of the way. Has he got enough time for another lap? He does. So he's on the front row at the moment, but he's not in his customary pole position. Kalen Chin, the young 13-year-old from Singapore, well, Australian Singapore. Oh, look, Jacko Sosoyo has just gone quicker, 52.2. Jacko is actually the quickest in the weekly qualification leaderboard on Race Room, so we know he can do flats, 52 lows. But Alif, this is one driver that I know can do it as well. I was texting him on WhatsApp. He had to rush back from national service in Singapore. He just got onto his sim before the server opened. Oh, and he's down at the first sector. 99 hundredths, just under a tenth down. He can, of course, close that. But, you know, Jack has also got another lap. So it's getting very tight at the top between Sosoyo, Kalen Chin, and the man we're riding on right now, Alif Hamilton, in the yellow BMW, through cops now, carries masses of speed. Is he able to get on the throttle nice and early through there? That is always key. Minimum speed is good, but you want to be early on the throttle. Now, through the famous maggots and Beckett, flat through maggots. Then you got to roll off the throttle, brake the car, hit the brakes a bit to turn into the Beckett's. The last bit of Beckett's now. Turn 14 onto the massively long hanger straight. Oh, he's trying to make a nice short distance down the straight to try and make some time on down hanger straight. Coming to the end of sector 2. Let's see what lap time he can do now. We have not got a time.
He is down though. He's 1:19.8, isn't he? He's a long way down.
Well, I was not expecting to see a black sector 2. He's way down. This is not going to be good enough for pole position. It looks like Sosoyo. And look at that. Ayman Hazik is up to second. And now Miko Nasi is third. Muhammad Alif rushing back to get on the sim in time to start this after serving national service in Singapore. Has not been able to do it. Obviously that rush back to get back just in time has costed him, and he's, look at that, he's way down in P4. But Jacko Sosoyo with his first pole position of the year in the second global edition Europe.
He'll be joined on the front row of the grid in an all Indonesia front row by the always quick, always entertaining Arwin Tarunya. Miko Nasi and Alif Hamilton make it an all Singapore second row. Ayman Hazik and young Kalen Chin. Well, Kalen not long ago was on the front row. He's going to be starting P6, row 3, just ahead of Tadashi on row 4. Wow. So let's have a look at this. We're at the Silverstone circuit. It's the eRacing GP Global DTM Group A, with the first of 2 races coming your way. Alif Hamilton has not been able to really get himself at the very top for now, but he will be, Alex Young, still the man to beat.
Yeah, I mean, he was obviously couldn't get into a flow there. Obviously the rush back meant that he was not in the groove straight away, but this is a long race, 2 races. If any man can get into the groove and challenge at the front, it's going to be Alif Hamilton. But Sosoyo, you know, Jacko Sosoyo at the front though. We've not seen him win in the Global Edition yet, but he's always been lightning fast. Will this be the time for him?
Last week, Alif Hamilton had a double win. Kalen Chin had a double win in the group stages, so something must give. But for now, it's Jacko Sosoyo on pole. Red lights are flashing. They are off. A 20-minute race is underway. Jacko Sosoyo and Arwin Tarunya. Great start by Miko Nasi. Nasi has got alongside Jacko Sosoyo. Was in the lead for a short moment there until Jacko was able to pull him back. But Nasi has pulled up from P4 into P2 at the start, Alex Young.
Yeah, you saw Alif Hamilton there going around the inside of Tarunya. He's up to P3 now. Rudely pushed him out of the way. And look at the train of cars now down the back straight. The first 2 guys are going to try and be pushing really hard. Let's not forget there is DRS in these DTM cars. No DRS for the first lap, but they want to try and cross the line with at least an 8/10 gap to try and prevent the other car behind using that DRS and just powering by through some of these long straights.
Alif Hamilton's got himself up into P3 very early on. Where are we? We're coming down, so the old part of the track here. Love the old grandstands down the left-hand side. Alif, though, not looking at the grandstands. He's looking at Jacques Siswoyo, and Siswoyo, as you quite rightly say, has been quick on a number of occasions without being able to plonk himself at the very top of the podium. Little bit further down, let's have a look. Leo Sabino had a really good race last week, but he's down in P16, is the racer from Macau, and Thailand's Patrick Levesque has got himself in P10. P9 is a debutant, Mia Ott. Mia Ott from Australia in P9, but it's a long procession of cars. Where are the overtaking opportunities here, Alex Young?
Well, down this long straight at the end of it is obviously one of them. Jacques Siswoyo, though, goes through in first place. Remember, he was challenging for the lead at Nürburgring in round 1, and they got caught up with the incident, maybe paid for not trying to overtake someone. And another guy, I think it was Alif, went down the inside of him, and that cost him, really put him on the back foot. But now we're with Taruna. Taruna's another Indonesian who's always lightning quick, always. And he has won in the ERGP Global Edition. But now he's down a P4 behind Alif Hamilton. I think he's quicker than Alif at the moment. He will have DRS at this point. Maybe he'll be able to get past Alif down Hanger Straight or even up to Brooklands.
Kalen Chin is trying to make a move on Ayman Hazik as they come round this sharp right-hand corner, then into the left, Village and the loop, followed by Aintree. Very, very tough part of the circuit, but Kalen, no real space to get past. In the distance, Siswoyo and Nassi still leading. We've not really spoken about Miko Nassi. He had a great start to the first season of eRacing GP Global Edition, but fell away a little bit, Alex. Maybe Nassi has found his mojo once again.
Yeah, it's really good to see Miko Nassi up there. He's really, on the sims especially, he's pretty much world class. He's done a lot of excuse my England there. Won a lot of races around the world, especially on some of the other platforms like iRacing. We've seen him win in Global Edition. He won the final at the round 1 of the first Global Edition, and you're right, he has fallen away a bit. He was just on the chats just now talking about he was still struggling to understand a couple things. He sometimes lost some time, but he was trying some things in the practice server, and it looks, well, I don't know what he's tried, but he's lightning quick right now. He's all over Siswoyo, and he should have DRS. Look, the DRS is open. Look at that rear wing is slanting back. It's shedding downforce, shedding drag. Oh, now look at that. He's come up. He's put the DRS. He's put the brakes on. He doesn't want to overtake just yet. But I tell you what, Miko, I would overtake, because if you guys just keep being cagey, you're going to get the third guy, who is Taruna, come up alongside you, and then you'll be in a real... that's it. Taruna's closed the gap. Now he's in DRS zone. I think Miko made a mistake that he should have used the DRS to overtake, because then he could have dragged Jaka to perhaps pull out a gap to the third place position car. But now all 3 cars are within DRS zones, and now Miko has to contend not with one grey Mercedes from Indonesia, but 2 grey Mercedes from Indonesia in Aaron Taruna and Jaka Siswoyo.
A little bit further behind them, Alif Hamilton is in a battle for P4 as he tries to go around the outside of Ayman Hazik. Ayman just kind of holds on. Kalen Chin finds himself under pressure just behind them. Taruna, a drive-through penalty, ignoring slowdown warning. So catastrophe for Taruna as Alif Hamilton goes up into P4. Got himself in there alongside Ayman Hazik and has made the move, has got him the place he lost earlier on in this lap back. 15 minutes to race.
Wow, you can see the DRS is having a big effect. You can see the rear wing on Alif's car. He's going to use that to try and close the gap to the cars in front. No one is escaping at the moment. They're all coming together. Alif there. Will he use it at this point? No, he's going to save. You get 3 DRS pushes per lap. So he's going to save it for the next DRS. Not through this bit. You need the downforce through Maggots and Brooklands. Not Brooklands, sorry, Beckett's here. But as you come out of Beckett's now, this is when he'll put the DRS. There you go. So the rear wing slant back. He's got the DRS now. He's going to inch up on Taruna. But of course, Taruna has DRS as well. Both these cars will be closing on the front 2 as they go down this massive long straight. Oh gosh, it's getting close. It's very cagey at the moment. This battle is not done. We have 14 minutes to go, and I can still see it coming together very, very soon.
We'll just break away from that little battle just for a while. A couple of debutants, Akila Chandra and Rama Danindro, are down in P11 and P12. And Danindro has just lost a place to Mitchell Cheer, wins it back. An appropriate time to go and see him. Welcome to eRacing GP, Rama. But Danindro didn't lose his nerve there. Mitchell Cheer tried to barge through right behind them, though. It's a four-way scrap here for P12, Alex.
Wow, look how close that is. All these cars have DRS. They'll be hunting Mitchell Cheer. If Mitchell does not have DRS, he might have it. I think he's close enough to the car in front. But whoa, look at them. They're all swarming around him like a pack of angry bees trying to get to the nectar.
There is Danindro. No money, no honey, they say. But at the front, Jais Iswoyo is still leading Miko Nasi. Nasi is keeping close. Now then, 13 and a half minutes go. Longer races now in the Global Edition Series 2. 20-minute races. So there is a little bit more time for tactics. But I always hear you in commentary, Alex, saying, hurry, really don't miss an opportunity to try and overtake, because you never know when the next one will arrive.
Yeah, so Massey be smart to overtake at this point, because if he just stays behind, you're going to see Alif then close a gap to him, and then he'll be in DRS zone. He does not want a third car to contend with a third car. Wow, Taruna getting very aggressive there. Taruna with the drive-through penalty has yet to serve. Another stroke of bad luck. Taruna, I sometimes feel he's the unluckiest driver in the ERGP. Look at that. Miko Nasi is not even trying to overtake. He's just staying there. He's hoping Sosoya can get on, and the two of them can then get a gap towards Alif Hamilton. That's what he's hoping for. But, you know, it might be smart to use the DRS to go past and then allow Jaka to use the DRS to go past again, because if he just stays behind with Jaka holding him up, Alif is going to close the gap, and he has. He's closed the gap. Now he'll be within DRS zone. So I'm not sure if this strategy from Nasi will play out.
This front four have got themselves a little bit of a leeway ahead of Kalen Chin in P5, Eamon Hazik in 6, and Tadashi in P7. Tadashi looked like he was about to make a move there on Ayman Hazik. It is very, very tight, though. This sharp right followed by the left, Village and Loop, and then onto Aintree once again. And then they head down into another of the long straights. It's littered with long straights, is Silverstone. It's a beautiful racing circuit.
Yes, it is, very much so. Very picturesque. It's the home of motorsports, especially in the UK, but it's one of the meccas of motorsports. There's so much motorsports around here. It's very, very, very well loved.
There's a great battle. Kalen Chin is holding on to P5, is trying to go around the outside of P5.
Oh, look at that. Side by side as they go through Woodcut. Short straight now for Kops. You can go around the outside through Kops, but he's not got it. And now Ayman Hazik has gone through. He's got to try and use the DRS to try and break that gap, because the other cars behind him have the DRS, and they're just going to come straight back the next lap if he's not careful.
The debutant Mir Ott is also making a move, and up at the front, so Sizwoyo is there. Hamilton is, as you said, Alex Young, right on the tail of Miko Nasi. And now it's a caginess, it's a game of chess. It was a two-man game of chess. Now it's a four-man game of chess.
I tell you what, this racing is turning into, Des. It's turning into Tour de France cycling. The slipstream, there's Taruna going into the pit lane, service penalty. Again, I feel for him. So he's out of this battle for the lead. But like I was saying, you can see trains of cars forming with the DRS so strong now. You really need to use it to great strategic value. So it is more like racing, high-speed racing game of chess.
Mir Ott on debut, really closing up here on Inigo Anton. They've got ahead of Tarunia. That penalty really is hurting him. Patrick Levesque is in the white in that group. Kalen Chin and Ayman Hakim are also in there. Inigo Anton tries to go on the inside of Levesque, eventually does. Little bit of contact. Levesque didn't like that, but he lost 2 places. And Mir Ott, who were travelling on board here on debut, has got himself up into P8, the young Australian. Is he able to hold on down the long straight under intense pressure, Ott? But and there's real contact there. Inigo Anton and Ott really came together. And a steward's inquiry may well be called into that one later on. Good battling still from Ott and Kalen Chin. That's who he is. Now then, Hamilton has got himself up into P2. Miko Nassi has paid the price for lack of aggression. And Hamilton made the move. Well, we were looking at Mia Ott on his debut. Maybe, as always, we should have been trying to concentrate on Alif Hamilton, Alex Young.
Yeah, now he's got the DRS. He's going straight to the front. He's doing what I think Miko Nassi should have done a couple laps ago. And look at that. They've both got DRS now. So Hamilton's now at the front. He's going to try and be the hare, not be the tortoise. He has that DRS. But you see, the two cars are right behind him. And also, Des, we haven't even talked about this yet, but tyre strategy is very important. Tyre wear at this track is very high. Silverstone is a high-energy track with all these fast corners. And I know these drivers, they'll be down to the carcass by the end of the race.
Alif Hamilton picked up a race double in the qualifiers last weekend. He also got fastest lap on both of those occasions, and he's also got fastest lap here at the moment, a 52.7. 152.7, so he's quick. He's got Cizura and Nassi for company. Behind them, P4, good battle going on. Ayman Hazik and Tadashi. Tadashi in the pink, Ayman Hazik in the black. Kalen Chin not too far behind. That little group going very wide, Ayman Hazik. Just trying to sort things out a little bit. On board with Kalen Chin. And Kalen, he's not smiling as much as usual, Alex Young.
Yeah, what did we call him the last race? The babyface assassin. Yes, he's not in the position he wants to be. P6, he knows he wants to be fighting for at the front, but still, there's a lot more to do. He'll be targeting these two cars in front. If he can get up to P4, I think that'd be a good job done for race 1.
So there he is at the tail end of that. Ayman Hazik is there. Now Nassi has got himself back into P2. Nassi has taken Jaka Sizwoyo. So these three are alternating places quite regularly now. And as you can see, Nassi is really putting the pressure on the yellow-clad BMW of Alif Hamilton. Alif in the BMW, followed by two Mercedes, who will have the better tyre wear, Alex Young.
Yeah, so Alif gone on the grass a bit there. Two cars. What's Miko going to do? Is he going to make the overtake? No, he doesn't want to. Jack is looking at both of them going, what are you doing? I'll go through instead if you don't want it. Oh, this is the chance maybe for Miko to try and extend the gap. So it's like I said, it's going to get so tough. It's so hard to defend down Hangar Straight with the DRS. It's almost like you want to be in second or third position on the last lap, I think. It's going to be very, very tough indeed to win this race.
Akila Chandra has picked up a drive-through penalty. Akila down in P12 at the moment. We are here, though, with Miko Nassi. For the second time in this race, the Singaporean has the lead. He's got the Indonesian Jaka Sizwoyo and Alif Hamilton for very, very close company. Right then, is Miko able to hold on, or will Sizwoyo make a move? Sizwoyo makes the move. He takes the lead for the second time. Global Edition Gold Group A. 6 minutes of dueling still to come, Alex.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. So down into Brooklyn to go Priory. Yeah, so corners all over the cars. Look how close they all are. It's a really... Whoa, there's some more tap. Miko Nassi had a small tap with Hamilton. Hamilton ran wide, had to cede position. Now as they go through Woodcote, they're going to be sideways. This is great for Susoyo. Susoyo has got DRS. Don't forget, one more DRS this lap. If he can use this, if he can find a couple more tenths, he will break the gap to Hamilton. This is it. He's got to get this right. This next segment of this track is vital. Maggots and Beckett's. He has to be perfect through here. If Susoyo wants to win his first race with the ERGP, look at that. He's carrying the speed just nicely. Get on the throttle nice and early. Yes, DRS is activated. He can push up a gap. He's got 8 tenths to Alif Hamilton. And now he got Nassi. If Nassi's going to fight with Alif Hamilton, this could be the chance for Susoyo to pull out enough of a gap to break the slipstream of the two cars behind.
But you never ever write off Alif Hamilton, certainly not with 5 minutes still to go, as they flick round Stowe through Vale and head towards Club Corner.
Oh, Susoyo just missed the apex there. That's allowed Hamilton to get within firing range as they cross the line. No, he's got over 8 tenths on Alif. I don't think Alif has the DRS. Susoyo might be able to break through, and If he can have another perfect lap, yes, look at that. He's up to a second now. He might have just broken the DRS. Is this the pivotal time in this race? He might have done it.
It's still a long way to go, though. He needs to be absolutely perfect, Jacques Siswoyo, but he's just lapped there a 53.1, which isn't his best lap, but it's consistently quick. And with Hamilton having to duel with Mico Nassi, you never know. It's below above 1 second now. And Nassi is really piling the pressure on the tail end of Alif Hamilton, though Hamilton has got up a little bit closer now to Jacques Siswoyo. We're looking at that distance, well, almost yard by yard. It's down to 0.7 of a second now. He hasn't lost him, Alex. He hasn't lost him.
Hamilton was so impressive through Luffield. He nailed Luffield so well. And look at that, Jacques just running a bit wide there. I think Jacques might have lost his chance. Look at that. Alif is within half a second now. Alif has just been supreme through this part of the track. He doesn't have the DRS, but he's closed the gap just by driving just right. Jacques has got to hope that Alif's going to get into a bit of argy-bargy with Mico Nassi behind, because Mico Nassi will have the DRS. Look, now Alif does have the DRS. He was close enough at the beginning of this lap, so now he goes into first place. The Singaporean, the championship leader, is now leading at this point.
Did warn you, it was a little bit early to say that. A little bit further down, this is an impressive debut from Mia Ott. He's got himself into P6. Kalen Chin has just lost that P6. So Kalen Chin, double winner last week, is going backwards. Leveke behind them is under real pressure from Inigo Anton. But up at the front, I tell you what, Siswoyo hasn't given this one up because Alif hasn't been able to pull away. But if anyone could do a perfect lap, Alex Young, it'll be Alif Hamilton.
And he needs to be perfect. He's leading. There are two laps to go. It's so good to watch. I don't know which way this is going to go, Des.
So Alif Hamilton in the yellow BMW in the lead. The grey of Siswoyo has a little look, tries to dash down the inside, manages to go around, but Hamilton defends. Hamilton defends for all he is worth and successfully does so. Nassi waits to pick up the scraps, but excellent defensive driving from Alif Hamilton. He is truly, truly facing the pressure.
Yeah, that's a good move, I think, because if Jacques had managed to get through on that lap, he would have had the DRS, and he might have been able to pull out a gap before the last lap of this race. But now as it is, okay, Jacques can use the DRS to overtake, and he can use it to overtake at Hangar Straight, which is coming up. But he won't have a lead as they start the last lap, and that's the important thing. I think ideally to win this race, you need to be a very, very close second as you start the lap, not a very far away second.
I shudder to break away just from this leading three. In fact, I dance because Nassi has made a move. He's taken a completely different line, but Hamilton under intense pressure from Jacques Siswoyo. Looking back from Alif Hamilton. I love you, says Jacques, and I don't think he does. I want your number one slot is what he really means, as does Mico Nassi. Nassi leaves it just a little bit late. Yellow of Hamilton, grey of Siswoyo, pink of Nassi. Brilliant race. 1 minute to go. There'll be one complete lap after the end of this, Alex.
Yeah, Hamilton's gone. He went through the last corner and Alif was just pushing like mad. He's going to go see 5/10 here. He's not within DRS, but look how much he's pushing. He's just climbing the curbs. But Jacques is right there. So's Mico Nassi right there. They have to have a good... Oh, look at that. He runs a bit wide. If Jacques can get Hamilton down this straight, that could be a really key part of this race. If Hamilton can defend the position, though, maybe he can hang on to the end of the lap. He's defending the inside. Jacques looks to the outside. They're going side by side. It's touch and go between all of them. But Hamilton holds on for now.
Hamilton held on at exactly the same part of the lap last time. This will be the last time that he has to defend. He has done superbly, and still Alif Hamilton has the lead. Nassi is in third place. Oh, once again, Siswoyo makes a move. He's trying everything he possibly can, but Alif Hamilton is repelling him every time, Alex Young.
Yeah, and Mikko Nasi's looking at this going, okay, what can I do? Can I be close enough? Maybe I can get the slipstream on all three of them and take the win. This is the pivotal part of the race, Des. They're coming onto Hangar Straight. The two cars behind have DRS. The yellow car in front does not.
Siswoyo makes his move. Goes around the outside. Hamilton, is he helpless? Can he defend? Nasi is able to make a move. Hamilton goes from P1 to P3. Tries to take P2 back, but it's Siswoyo who looks like he may have timed this one to absolute perfection. Siswoyo leads from Nasi. Hamilton. Oh, has Hamilton lost it on the last lap?
Oh, he has. Perfectly done. Siswoyo goes through the last corner and he takes his first win for ERGP Global Edition. Congratulations! Mikko Nasi finishes in second and Alif Hamilton, the championship leader, in third.
Eamon Hakim fourth, Eamon Hazik fifth. A really good first race for Mia Ott in sixth. Kalen Chin will be disappointed with a 7. Anton competitive alongside Tarunya. Credit Tarunya who came back. Let's just have a look at the reaction of Kalen Chin. There he was in his car. P7 after a double win last week. Slightly frustrating for him. A 1:53.6 his best lap time. But the real story of this first race, Alex Young, is Jaka Siswoyo timed that last lap maneuver to absolute perfection.
I am so happy to see Siswoyo win. There are like 4 Indonesian drivers who are always capable of winning in this championship, and they're always lightning quick. Sometimes they just don't quite put it together in the race. Sometimes it's just bad luck. But now Siswoyo has got his first race 1 win, and truly deserved. I felt for him at Nürburgring at round 1 when he was in the hunt for the win, but then got involved in some touches and fell down the order and then had to serve a drive-through, I think. But now he's been rewarded with his first win. Fantastic result.
Mikko Nasi, a very good competitive P2 for Nasi. Oliver Aquino comes on board to say hello. Thanks, Ollie. Nice to see you again. Sev Mikhail Tagulo as well. The race is getting ready. Jamil Lacuna loving the move on the last lap that enabled the first race win of the season for Jaya Siswoyo. Welcome along, all of you who are watching eRacing GP. Give your comments to Facebook. Alex and I will do our best to follow through. But we are then instantly, Alex, into the reverse grid race.
Okay, so if you thought that was exciting, wait for race 2. Race 2 is just madness. So now we completely reverse the whole grid. As you can see, have a look at that. Reverse the whole grid. Let's have a look at the times here. Oh, look, fastest lap for Alif Hamilton. Well, he'll be pleased with that. That's good for his championship. 2 points for fastest lap. Followed home by the 2 Malaysians, Ayman Hakim and Ayman Hazik. And then 2 Australians, Ott and Chin.
Great debut for Ott. Really credit to him. So then, we move on to race number 2. Just remind you, we're at the Silverstone, wonderful circuit. I tell you what, you forget what a beautiful flowing circuit it is and all those wonderful names of those corners. First time I've commentated on eRacing without being at the track itself. It's a fantastic arena, Alex.
Yeah, it truly is. So it's really good to be here. We are now getting ready for the race, though. It is lights on. Lights are going to go red very soon. The reverse grid race. The guys who finished at the front are now at the back. They've got it all to do. They have got DRS at their disposal, but they have to be very careful and they have to navigate themselves very carefully through the first few corners and first few laps, because it's so easy to have incidents and you could lose the race and end any chances of finishing the race straight away.
20-minute race coming your way. The guys right, the red flag is there. Mitchell Cheer, it will be a very competitive front row of the grid alongside Arwin Tarunya. So Cheer and Tarunya on the front row. 18 starters. Mitchell Cheer loses out to Arwin Tarunya. Tarunya so quick until he got that drive-through penalty. Looking for a little bit of atonement, and what a sensational start from Arwin Tarunya. He is off ahead of Presley Martono, Ramadanindro and Mitchell Cheer, but Tarunya is saying goodbye to the rest of the field at the moment.
Wow, so look at that. Tarunya's been shadowed by some real-life drivers. Chia, Montano, I think Danidro also. They all do a lot of real-life driving. So, great to see them up there. Can they hold on to Tarunya, though? Tarunya is trying to break the slipstream. Tarunya knows if he can get a second on this first lap when DRS is not enabled. And look at the battle of cars right behind him. Who goes off? Oh, I think that's Dan Indro. That's such a shame. The debutant going off. So, wow.
It was indeed Dan Indro who's dropped down to P18. He started very, very high on the grid. Tarunya, though, barged forward. Now then, be disciplined, Arwin. Be disciplined. We saw Jacques Cizuelo get his first win of the season. We know Tarunya can be terrifically quick, but there's still another, 18 and a half minutes for him to race. Just make sure he's neat and tidy. No mistakes. Let others chase him.
Yeah, so you have to think about tire wear, but at this beginning of the stages of the race, Taruna's got to push. He's got to push super hard for this first lap, because if he can break the DRS zone, this could be his race to lose, because you know the cars behind him are going to fight. And look at that, he's got a 2-second gap. That's looking really good for him as we watch Martono go down the inside of Chia. These two real-life drivers driving really hard to try and close down the gap to Tarunya.
Tarunya is leading. There's the gap. It's 2.3 seconds as Martono in the white and Mitchell Cheer in the black are chasing them. Good starters also from Taiwan's Su Tin Su. He's up into P4 from Macaulay Sabino. My word, it's an international starting front five. We are from all over the place. Philippines, Inigo Anton also up there, and Dominic Ang, the best of the Malaysians, in P7. So much going on as Kalen Chin makes a move on side Mia Ott and Dominic Ang. At the front though, Tarunya, sorry, we'll get back to Kalen Chin. Kalen Chin is inside your screen, dueling there. That's Mia Ott. He is just behind Alex. Looks like he's driving a little bit more competitively, Kalen, but still P8.
P8, actually a good start for him. I mean, he had to start near the back, but, you know, didn't have a great first race. So look at that. He's trying to look at the cars. Oh, just side by side, Ang and Ott. Great racing in front of him. It's great to see. Look at his face. He's fully concentrated on this. He's checking the rearview mirror as well. He still has a mental capacity to think about the cars around him as they drive into the sunset.
Let's have a look at the drivers who did really well in race number one. Cizuelo, Hamilton and Nasi. They are in another three-way little group. Hamilton P10, Cizuelo P11, Nasi leading that little group in P9. A good second and a quarter clear of Alif Hamilton. But Alif knows that he's got such a long time just to pick his way through this field. But there's the race winner from race number one, Jacques Cizuelo. Tell you what, Alex, maybe he's learned. He's taking his time.
Yeah, he's got the DRS open. Yeah, so he's lost out to Hamilton and Nasi, who he was battling over the first in race one. So he's lost out to them over the first few laps. But it's okay. With the DRS zone, he can soon creep up. And look at those cars just fighting there ahead of him. You know, they're all slowing each other as they trip over each other as they tries and navigates this pack of cars.
There's been an incident up at the top. Now then, Arwin Tarunya is still leading, but Su Tin Shu is in second place. He's leapfrogged over Presley Martono and Mitchell Cheer. Inigo Anton in P5 is trying to go past Mitchell Cheer as well. The Malaysian has suffered a couple of problems in the last lap. Just a little bit too far wide was Inigo Anton. That allows Le Sabino to have a look on the inside. And all this enables Miko Nasi to join up as the sun sets over Silverstone. The DRS is on for Nasi, the race winner of race 1, P7 at the moment. But Arwin Tarunya's lead over 5 seconds, Alex Young.
Yeah, that's done. He's gone. He's played the hair. He's done this perfection. He got the gap. And now with that sort of gap, he can even afford to back off a bit and look after the tyres just in case something happens later on. Really good for him. But that battle behind him for second position, Su into second. He's not finished on the podium yet from Taiwan, and he's done a great job to get up there.
It's Presley Martono who's right behind him in P3. Mitchell Cheer also putting the pressure on Inigo Anton. There is Cheer in the black. This is the battle for P2 that you're seeing. Su Martono in the white and Mitchell Cheer. Inigo Anton from the Philippines is there in P5 in the grey. Sabino and Miko Nasi, Alex, has gone alongside Le Sabino and moved up to P6. Nasi on the podium in race 1. Looking good here in race 2 with 14 minutes to race.
I tell you what, Miko Nasi is looking this and he'll be thinking, oh, I can finish P2 here. He's doing a great job to get through the traffic nice and cleanly. There was a lot of contact with him and Ott the lap before, but he managed to get through that with Ott and, of course, Kalen Chin. So at the moment, he's sitting very pretty indeed.
Looking very good. We'll just hang on for this battle for P3. Martono in the white. Nassi is the back of that little group. Doesn't quite make a move there. Lap time fastest 1:53.144. So congestion slows them down just a little bit, but Nassi has been able to claw himself closer. It's Mitchell Cheer under pressure. Sabino, just a little bit of contact down at the back end of Nassi, but he's big enough and ugly enough to look after himself.
Yeah, it is indeed. So he's still got a lot to do. You just said he's looking pretty, but you saw Sabino have that contact with him. It's not over till it's over. Oh, Nassi gets down the inside. He's a lot perfectly inside the car. The overlap was good enough so that,
Mitchell Cheer has disappeared. Mitchell Cheer kicked out of the game.
Obviously defending too hard, so racked up the incident points, and now he has have to leave the game.
So the DRS, meantime, Turunya, lovely jaunt around Silverstone, beautiful part of the country, particularly in the summertime, and the weather is fine, and Arwin Turunya having a whale of a time. P2, Su Tin Su trying to hold off the pressure from Presley Martono, who, don't forget, only joined the series in race 1 last week. So Presley has already made an impression, Alex Young, and is currently holding on to a podium slot.
Yeah, Presley, a very fast driver from Indonesia. I think he was a race winner in Formula 4. And he's had very success in other forms of racing, karting and stuff. As he goes now to the P2, but he's overcooked it. He's running wide. He's going to lose positions there. It's his first time. Well, he actually joined us last week as well, but still learning, obviously. Race Room is a brand new platform for him, so he's still learning how to drive, how the best optimize. And I tell you what, he's racing some pretty good drivers out there.
Well, he lost a place there to Inigo Anton, the very competitive Filipino. This is Nassi, who momentarily got himself up into P4. Nassi in the pink, has a look on the inside and says to Presley, you're going to have to defend, young fella. And Presley does indeed defend. Martono doing a good job. It's a four-way battle, but Nassi barges him out of the way. And Nassi has got himself into P2. P4. Meanwhile, Inigo Anton has gone through to P2, and Alif Hamilton's joining in the fun as well.
Wow, look at that. Hamilton now all over the back. He's past Martano, I think, and he's looking at, is that, no, who's
Mir-Ott.
He's looking at Mir-Ott. Oh, tries to make the move. He goes around the outside of the Australian. Looks like he's going to do it. No, Mir-Ott fights back. Mir-Ott's also new to us at eRacing GP, but he's a very experienced sim racer. And he's doing a great job holding off the championship leader, or not. Alif, though, he's got enough of the DRS. He goes through cops and he makes the position his own. And look who's just ahead of him, Mikko Nassi.
Well, Mikko Nassi has dropped down a little bit, hasn't he? He got himself up into P4, now P5. We're watching the battle for P2 because Arunya's lead is an astonishing 7.5 seconds. Anton in P2, Su chasing in P3, Martono in 4, under pressure from Nassi in 5, but Nassi also feels the heat from Alif Hamilton behind him. Will Nassi make a move? Will Martono make a move? Well, Martono did, but neither was able to get through Su Tin Shu.
Okay, Nassi's going to be impatient here. He needs to make this overtake. He feels, oh, look at that, Martano. From way back, that's too far. Oh, Hamilton, though, he takes a position. The Singaporean, he's such an opportunistic driver. He played that perfectly, and now Nassi's behind him as well.
Wow, Hamilton gets himself up into P5. He was 2 places down on Mikko Nassi. They were 2 and 3 in race 1. Sizwell joins in the fun as well, the race leader. So the 1, 2, 3 from race 1 are 5, 6, 7 here in race 2. And Sizwell's got himself ahead of Mikko Nassi. Oh, Nassi then loses a place to Mir-Ott as well. It has been a catastrophic lap for Mikko Nassi.
Yeah, it's all gone pear-shaped for the finish, but based in Singapore driver, he's got the DRS though, so he makes it back past him, but it's not what he wants to be. He wants to be ahead of Hamilton, he wants to be ahead of Susoyo, and they've both managed to get through in the last couple corners.
Let's have a look at Hamilton. That's Anton. And Presley Martono is 2.5 seconds down on that. P3 in P4. I can tell you Hamilton is making a move to get up into P4. Hamilton Oh, that's a battle that he's involved with there with Presley Martono and Jacques Sizwoyo and Nassi. And Hamilton now in P5. Great stuff. A little bit further down, Kalen Chin is still going backwards, not having the best of days, Kalen. He's in P10 just at the moment, ahead of Eamon Hakim and Patrick Levesque. But let's rejoin that battle for P4, Alex. And your version as Hamilton makes a move.
Yeah, so Hamilton now is up to P3. Look at that. Sorry, P4. He's looking good there. But don't forget, he's got a couple very fast drivers following him through just behind. So still anything to play for. He's got Sue just up ahead of him. That'll be the next driver he'll be looking at. Oh, look at that, Sosoyo. Looking at all over the back of Alif. I don't know how they managed to get this close and have so much contact and still all be facing the right way.
Well, they are indeed. Hamilton is looking on the back of Sue. Sue will be very aware, because whenever you see Alif Hamilton coming by, it's like as many are intimidated, not by his dirty driving, but by the fact he's just so good at taking the opportunities. Gets on the inside, moves through to P3. Alif Hamilton, once again, a perfect lesson in sim racing.
Yeah, and he's got the DRS now as he goes through there, but look who's following him through. Sosoyo's following him through as well. Sosoyo is right there behind Alif Hamilton. Sosoyo's stalking the Singaporean in the yellow BMW. He'll try and do to Hamilton what he did in race 1 and try and get him on the last lap, I feel. Sutin
Su moves backwards. He goes 3 positions back. Miko Nassi, who at one stage was battling for P2, is now in a bit of a dire situation. He's down in P8 podium in race number 1, but P8 here in race number 2. Kalen also suffering a little bit. Kalen Chin a little bit further down. Let's have a brief look at Arwin Tarunya, though, enjoying his time and lapping quickly, Alex. 1:53.2. That's as quick as anybody on the circuit.
Well, Sosoyo's going quicker, though, 53.0. And I tell you what, Sosoyo is also looking pretty good. But this man, Arwin Taruna, his countryman from Indonesia, doing a great job. It's going to be Indonesia wins race 1 and Indonesia wins race 2. I know we still got 7 minutes to go, but Taruna's got an 8-second lead at this point.
Let's have a look at Sizwoyo, the Indonesian winner of race 1. Real battle with Alif Hamilton, looking backwards from Hamilton onto Jacques Sizwoyo. Sizwoyo comes up close. You are right, they do get very close, but no contact there. Sizwoyo just looks to bide his time as they come up Woodcott and head towards Cops. Is that where I am? Yes.
Oh no, I got it confused as well. That was the last corner. This is the new complex. As they go through turn 1 now, and now turn 2, just about flat in a DTM car. And then obviously braking with turn 3. Turn 3, very technical part of the track. You can easily overdrive it through there and lose a lot of time. You got to keep the car nice and stationary. Is Jacques Sosoyo going to try and go past Hamilton at this point? Oh, he's got the DRS open, but will he go through? 6 minutes to go. I think he wants to see if they can make another position, if they can catch Anton ahead. Jacques looks to the inside. Alif is not even bothering to defend. He wants Jacques to go through. He wants to track the Indonesian for a couple laps. Let Jacques use the DRS and try and bridge the gap to Anton, who's ahead of him in P2.
Round Brooklyn, through Luffield, now onto the Woodcott turn, then onto a long straight, and this time we're heading towards Cops. It is a little bit similar, do forgive us on that one, but it's a computer. Cops, a very, very quick corner. Why is it such a quick corner, Alex?
It's one of the few corners on this track that's not changed in all the years, and it's in an F3 car. I can remember testing that, especially when it's cold in the winter. Okay, it's not good for your fingers and toes, but in the winter, the extra grip, you were just about flat in a Formula 3 car. But to go full throttle there without lifting was pretty scary indeed.
Arwin Tarunya, he's enjoying his trip around Silverstone. Anton is currently in P2. He's the first of those great cars. Sizwoyo, though, is closing in on Inigo Anton, Alex, looking for P2. Nearly 5 minutes to race.
Wow, he's really closing down that gap, hasn't he? And of course, Ali's following him as well. Anton, he's done a great job to beat P2. Jacques Sosoyo, though, misses the apex there. That's going to suit Anton perfectly. But I think time's running out for the Filipino driver, because Jacques in the Indonesian is looking very quick indeed.
A couple of drivers are being tossed out. Lei Sabino and Presley Martono are out of the game. Rama Danindro on debut has made a bit of recovery. He's got himself up into P13. Sutin Chin now under pressure from Kalen Chin for P7. It's beginning to sort itself out just a little bit, but it took a good 15 minutes for this race to show some kind of order, Alex Young.
Yeah, Caden with a very late turn in there out of that corner. We're now riding with Alif Hamilton, championship leader in the yellow BMW. He's one of the only BMWs.
Sizuyo up to P2.
Wow, good move there by Sizuyo. Down the inside, use the DRS. That is the place, I think, if you want to keep make the position your own, is to make that overtake before Brooklands, because then you got the rest of this lap to use your DRS and to try and pull out an even bigger gap before the next lap starts. And this is perfect. He's now got a car between him and Alif Hamilton.
A little bit confusing in that Sizuyo and Inigo Anton are in the same livery, but Sizuyo is the man who has got himself a nearly half-second lead over Inigo Anton, and that's good for him because it puts distance between him and Mohammed Alif Hamilton in P4. Mia Ott continues his terrific first appearance here on the Global Edition. He's in P5, and Nasi showing a little bit of recovery as well. Has got himself up into P6. But Tarunya, tell you what, Alex, he's going away from the rest of the field still. 8.5 seconds.
Wow, look at that. I have to say, though, Jacko Susoyo on his last lap at 52.6, so he's got the fastest lap. And he's got a good chance. Look at that. Has he put out enough of a gap on Inigo Anton? If he has, he should be able to make second position his own, because Hamilton is soon going to get into a fight with Inigo Anton for third position.
Well, let's have a look at Hamilton. That's how close he is as they come down that main straight. Behind them, Ott and Nasi. 2.5 minutes remaining. What, 2 more laps, perhaps? 1 complete lap after this?
That sounds about right. 2 more laps to go. There's Alif, Singaporean championship leader, now going through these final corners. He is close enough. He will get DRS. He's a little bit too far. But look at that. Inigo Anton also has DRS. And they're both inching up to second place of Soyo.
On board with Alif Hamilton. The yellow BMW. Even this late in the race, do not rule out Alif Hamilton making a move. Maybe not close enough to get onto Jacko Sizuyo, but Inigo Anton is very, very vulnerable. Meantime, Ott under pressure from Nasi. Nasi trying to reclaim some of the places that he lost before.
You know what, though, Des? I'm surprised Nasi's still in this race. He had so much contact with so many cars. I thought he would have been over incident points. At the very most, he must be very close to the limit of incident points. So he's going to be under big pressure to try and overtake Ott without any contact.
Yeah, it might just explain why he's been a little bit cautious, Mikko Nasi. Better to pick up, 4 points for P6 than be thrown out of the game and pick up none. Particularly after you've had a pretty good 20-point haul on race number 1. Yes. Meantime, Sizuyo holds on to P2. Let's have a look at Hamilton. Close enough, Alex? Probably not.
No, not close enough, but they've both inched up to Sizuyo. Oh, Anton, he just runs a little bit wide. He doesn't need to do that. If he's got any hope of trying to overtake Jacko Sizuyo in the last lap that's just coming up, he's got to be good through this sector. He's got to be within DRS zone. He is within DRS zone, but he doesn't want to be too far back, otherwise he'll leave the overtaking for too late in the lap. And of course, let's not forget, Alif is there right all over the back of him.
Final lap of the race. It is Tarunya who's a long way clear. Sizuyo in shot in P2. Inigo Anton and Alif Hamilton are chasing him for 3 and 4. Let's stay on board Alif Hamilton for this lap. See what kind of a move he makes on Inigo Anton. Hamilton 4, Anton 3, and the differential is 0.25 of a second.
Yeah, so look at this. Alif is close enough to make the move, but Anton also has a DRS. So Anton might be able to defend over the remainder of this lap. There's 1 more lap to go. Look at that. Oh, Anton 2. He's overcooked it. He's overcooked it. Oh, cracked under pressure. Let's not forget, Anton is still relatively inexperienced, and he's just shown his inexperience there. And he's made a mistake on the last lap and allowed Alif Hamilton through to P3.
I tell you, never rule out Alif Hamilton. Mikko Nasi's made a great move as well. Nasi's got himself up into P5. Mia Ott trying to get in ahead of P6. But let's just go back to the front once again. Tarunya leads. Sizuyo, though, will find he suddenly comes under a bit of pressure from Alif Hamilton. Anton trying to get that place back, but Hamilton, he's got half a lap to maybe try to catch up on Jacko Sizuyo, Alex.
Yeah, this is the last chance to overtake. He's got DRS. Look at that rear wing slanting backwards, shedding the downforce and the drag. Oh, is he going to be close enough? Will he try a dive down the inside? No, not close enough. Susoyo just got to be perfect to this, and he'll... Yes, I think that gap's big enough. Hamilton will be taking a big risk if he tries to go down the inside at this point. Not able to do it. Looks like he's settling for third place.
The race winner, though, Arwin Tarunya, from start to finish, led it and takes the maximum 15 points. Sizwoyo holds off Hamilton, who holds off Anton for P2. Mikko Nassi will come through in P5. What a great result for him. Poor old Sue's down in P7. Leveke picks up points for Thailand P8. Kalen Chin, disappointing first day for him for Kalen Chin. He finishes down in P9. The smile not as radiant as it was last week for Kalen. Mohammed Khalif will come through in P10. But Indonesians are taking a liking to this Silverstone circuit, Alex Young.
Yeah, especially to the DTM car. Great to see him translating their quick, raw pace into actual race wins.
So Arwin Tarunya on the reverse grid. He was on the front row. He got off to a terrific start. So this was a 20-minute start to end lead, and he didn't seem to make a mistake. He was consistent, increased his lead almost by the lap, Alex Young. That's a truly impressive performance from an otherwise an often inconsistent Arwin Tarunya.
Yes, I'm very happy for him. Again, he had a bit of unlucky through race 1, had the drive-through penalty which cost him, but it allowed him to start at the front for the race 2, and he definitely took his chances with both hands and took in the end, what was a relatively comfortable win.
Remember in season 1 also, Arwin had a race where he was competing for the lead and suddenly lag saw him omitted from the game. So I think, like you, I've been hoping for Arwin Tarunya to be able to get onto the podium, and that's exactly what he's done in race number 2 of Group A of the Gold Group of the Global Edition. He will certainly qualify for tomorrow's 40-minute final, as will Alif Hamilton, who once again, Alex, has picked up a podium position for P3.
Yeah, he was obviously not the maximum 100% Alif Hamilton we're used to. But still, he was able to get the results that he needed. So good job to him. Look at the results there. Susoyo... no, that's not correct. That's just because those results aren't correct. Because I think Taruna's exited the game.
Yes.
So that's why he's not there. But can assure you that Taruna won that race. Susoyo second, with Alif Hamilton third.
Yeah, Tarunya's victory. Sizwoyo in P2. Alif Hamilton completing it. Inigo Anton just holding off Mikko Nassi for P4. Love this circuit. Love Silverstone. It's good to get the old traditional places and some eRacing GP. Jackie Sizwoyo and Arwin Tarunya, two very, very quick Indonesians. Maybe at last they are coming to the Global Edition party, Alex.
Yeah, it is. It's really good to see him. We've got some very fast Indonesians coming to Group B. Do you want to take us to the spotters guide? Because they're in the practice server now. Indeed,
are they? Let's just get us there. Yeah, the main competitors in race number 2. You've got Josh Purwin, who had a really good weekend last weekend. You know what? He was third in all 3 of the races that he competed in, Josh Purwin. Also in there, Naki Baslam, who got himself a third place in race number 1 and won that thrilling final in race number 2. So Nakib is a terrific competitor. Fadli Rakhmat, one of my favourites, didn't get on the podium last week, but got a 4th and a 5th position. And Jason Tay, the fast Singaporean, he got a fastest lap in race 1, bronze in race number 2, and also picked up a 6th position in the 40-minute final. So we've got some really good competitors out there.
Just a quick look at the calendar, the championship. This championship is a little bit out of date now. We've had Group A go. But just to remind you of what happened after round 1. So Josh Purwin and Mohammed Nakib in 2nd and 4th. They're in Group B. Fadli Rachmat, a very quick Indonesian as well. Jason Tay there. They'll be there as well. So they'll be looking to try and close that gap to Alif Hamilton, who, to his usual high standards, did not have the perfect race he normally does.
Back onto some of the practice pictures. We're on here with Arjun Maini. We forgot a little bit about Arjun, didn't we? He had a decent start to season number 1, but the Indian racer hasn't really been able to impress since then. Simke Wern, who won the amateur edition, the young Malaysian, is doing well. So as mentioned, as well as the names that I mentioned from that graphic we showed you, plus Luis Moreno. Flipping heck, this is one heck of a race that we've got in store.
Absolutely, and I'm really excited to see Arjun Maini back. He missed race 1. I think I can't remember why he missed race 1, but he had to miss race 1. But it's great to see him back for race 2. You're right, he started off the Global Edition Season 1 really strongly, right there fighting for race wins. Kind of faded towards the end of it, but now this is his first race back with us in the DTM car, and he's showing he's loving this car. I mean, he was very, very quick on the weekly leaderboard this week.
Yeah, we've not really mentioned the DTM cars. It's performing pretty nicely on Silverstone. It seems to be a car that is very suited to it with these long sweeping straights.
Yeah, that's sweeping corners as well. I mean, the car's a lot of downforce. They're very light. They love these fast sweeping corners, and they're real joy to drive through that. And Silverstone has so many of them. So this track, Spa, is also going to be amazing, and we will do Spa at some point as well.
We just won't tell you when.
Exactly.
Fadli Rakhmat, one of my favourites, is also in here. You can always expect something spectacular from Fadli Rakhmat, so don't go too far away in the next 40 minutes or so, because the 2 races, I guarantee you he will do something sensational and something silly.
Yeah, that's true. So Fadli be up there. He's also a driver that we know you almost won at Motegi, didn't he, in the first edition? But yeah, it'd be great to see him win a race as well. But let's not forget, a lot of these drivers up there right now, like Arjun Maini and Kai Wen, have not won at this level yet. So it'd be nice to see them do that as well.
Fadli got a P4 on race number 1 last weekend and finished 6th in the final. So he's in some pretty good form. And even in eRacing, I'm sure you get a bit of momentum, Alex, and it just feeds your confidence. You know you're going to hit the corners correctly. Fadli is certainly worth keeping an eye out on.
Yeah, he is. Let's look at him now. He's going through the last segment of corners. Very neat driver, but he is a neat driver. He's able to do nice, consistent times, but just makes the odd mistake here and there, which can cost him quite badly.
Do you want to give us a flying lap? Work out. Let's stick alongside Fadli. Looks like he's about to make a move. He's gone onto the first corner.
Yep, now to turn 2, easy flat there. Turn 3, technical part of the track. They're very wide and must keep it neat. Oh, he's run too wide there. That's going to cost him lots of time. Gets a big wiggle. He's going to abort this lap. I think he's done enough practice anyway. He's just sitting in the pit lane. They'll get ready for the race. I think most of them in the practice server just now would have just been doing the long runs, seeing how they can manage the tyres. Another good driver here, Jason Tay from Singapore. We saw him always in the top 5, driving very, very well. Another driver, actually, that would love to win his first Global Edition race. He has won with the ERGP before. He won the eRacing GP Causeway Edition, where he finished runner-up to Alif Hamilton a couple of weeks ago.
Certainly did. He had a 3rd place in race number 2, fastest lap in race number 1 last week on the opening day of the season, and he's looking like he's in decent nick here. Hasn't got a lap time to mention so far as they come into this left and right. It's always difficult way to end this circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And then they come sweeping round into the home straight for the final time. Maybe Jason will give us an opportunity to talk us through the difficulty parts. It's particularly corners 3, 4 and 5 once we hit the village loop and Aintree part of the circuit. I find you can make so many mistakes in that part of the race, part of the course.
And Jason there getting it a bit wrong there. So practice is ending now as we get ready for qualifying.
eRacing GP, Arjun Maini, fastest in practice, but now it's the qualification. Group B for the gold group. The top boys. Arjun Maini hopes to prove that he is there, and let's just stick with Arjun Maini, see if he's able to put in any kind of a marker for the rest. They come down through Club into Abian Farm.
Oh, he goes through with just a lift there. Some of the drivers are braking, but maximum commitment through 1 and 2. Now turn 3. Can't afford a wiggle. That looks just about perfect. Well done. So easy to overcook it through this section. You've got to get a good exit out of this corner because you carry so much time down through this long straight. Easy flat through that corner, which is turn 5. Now down the long straight to Brooklands. This used to be called Priory. I'm not sure if it's still called Priory anymore. Turn 6. Barrel roll through there. Just about kiss the apex. Oh, he's using a bit more of the apex. Then into Luffield. Again, a corner that he'll know very well. He's done a lot of testing at Silverstone. He's fastest through Sector 1 at 33.5. Now, down this back straight. Well, not really the back straight. They now call it the old pit straight. Through Woodcut, down to Copse. Copse, just a lift, small brake. Oh, small brake. There we go. He was hard on the power of the exit, though. That was really good. Maximum commit through there. Now, through Maggots and Beckett's. Easy flat through the Maggots section. Then you got to have small lifts through this bit into Beckett's now. And maybe a small dab on the brake to get the front of the car to turn in. Now, out onto the hangar straight. If you've got that perfect, you just have so much through there. Sector 2 is purple as well on 19.7. That's very good. This looks like a nice clean lap from Arjun Maini so far. One more sector to go. Can he keep it neat and clean while still being maximum committed? Oh, uses all the curb there. Looks just about right. To the final sequence of corners now. Turns 16, 17 and 18. Vale and Club. Got to use all the road there. He does. That looks just about perfect. Through the last corner. Easy, flat. Let's see what this time is, Des.
No time.
52.6.
52.6. It's quickest. No, second. Because Nakib instantaneously has gone in there. Mohammed Nakib in the blue, the brilliant young Malaysian. He's gone quickest. But Arjun Maini, we are on board at the perfect moment there, Alex Young, because that's a really good flying lap from Arjun Maini. And he's probably got enough time to put in another lap as well. Josh Purwin is in P3 at the moment. 152.8. Jason Tay in P4. Fadley 5. And Yevon David in P6. Right then, Josh Purwin, second in the championship standings at the moment. Second in his 3 races last week, but he was fastest in qualification.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace. That's one driver that's going to be very impatient to try and win tomorrow's final. But yes, we know what a quality driver is. He won the McLaren Shadow project in Singapore last year. World-class sim racer. Relatively new to Race Room, but he's really enjoying it. He seems to like the DTM car just as much as he did the GT3 car. And look at that. Oh, he's 1/10 off pole position at the moment through Sector 1. He's got to try and find a little bit more if he wants to dislodge Mohammed Nakib from pole position. Now coming down to Copse corner again. Maximum commitment. Oh, look how how fast he turns in there. Tries to get the car rotated. He'll be back on the throttle through there. Now should be flat through Maggots. Let's see if he's flat to the second bit. No, he left. Now small brake. Changes down and corner a gear. Got to get it perfect to Sector 2. This bit needs to go purple. He has to go purple to Sector 2 if he wants to get pole position. He's bled some more time. It's his fastest sector. It's still a green, but he's 2/10 down on Mohammed Nakib at this point.
Currently in P3 as it stands, 2/10 down. Nakib, Arjun Maini 1 and 2. Let's see if Purwin's able to make up any time. Front row of the grid would be a lovely place to be as he comes through Vale. That little left and right, and then quickly onto the final club corner before accelerating into the main straight. Josh Purwin, the Australian. Look at the bottom of your screen. Sector 3 at 152.6. He remains P3, Alex Young. Mohammed Nakib is the man who will be on pole position. 20 seconds still to go unless there is a real surprise. Jason Tay, I think, is still out on the circuit. But at the moment, Nakib and Arjun Maini, a surprise first row of the grid for Arjun Maini.
Wow, really good job there. 42.2. Arjun Maini a couple tenths behind. I think it's going to be a close battle between these three, Nakib, Maini and Purwin.
And Andika Rama Malana, let's not forget Indonesia's finest. Jason Tay on the third row with Melvin Mo from Malaysia. And Fadli Rahmat will be on the fourth row of the grid. So it is Group B of the Global Edition Gold class, the top boys, the big fellas. We are racing around the near 6 kilometre Silverstone circuit, one of the grand old ladies of motor racing. And Alif Hamilton got himself in a good position. He'll be in the final from Group A. Who will be joining him from Group B? Andika Rama. He sneaked in there quite nicely, but Mohammed Nakib is arguably the real person to look out for.
Yes, he is. And Dika, don't forget, he never qualifies so well, so he'll be there for the race.
Nakib in the blue, as is confusingly Arjun Maini alongside him. We are underway, 20-minute race. Nakib glides off the starting line and immediately gets a lead ahead of Arjun Maini, Andy Karama and Josh Purwin not too far behind, but a picture book perfect start there from Mohammed Nakib.
Yes, what a good start. This is his chance. We talked about it in Group A. You need to have a really good, strong first lap if you find yourself in the lead, and hope the guys behind start battling. If you can try and break that DRS zone. But Nakib, perfect. Already 6/10 up on Arjun Maini. And Arjun Maini is looking over his shoulders, because look at that. Andika Rama right behind him as they go through Priory.
Andika Rama and Josh Purwin also there. We are on board with Andika Rama. So Nakib had a little bit of a lead, but has just been caught up a little bit by Arjun Maini. Maybe not able to get away quite as smoothly as he hoped. Fadli Rakhmat down in P7, putting pressure on Melvin Moe and Jason Tay. Let's go back up to the front, though, and see how Nakib is going to cope with pressure. Generally, Mohammed Nakib just loves pressure.
Yeah, he does, actually, hasn't he? He's a very young driver. He's only been doing sim racing 2 or 3 years now. And you saw in the Global Edition, the first one, how he improved from race to race. You can see him a bit naive sometimes, made some mistakes under pressure. But now, look at that. He's just really coming to his own. His last race at Nürburgring, when he won that final from P9, was a real incredible job. And look at that. Oh, Arjun Maini, though, he's not going away, isn't he? He's closed the gap to 3/10. Arjun Maini, he wants this race win.
Arjun Maini from India, not probably close enough onto Mohammed Nakib. This is lap number 1, so you can't implement the DRS yet. And Nakib hasn't been able to blast away, I think, in the way he probably hoped he would be able to. It means there's a whole load of traffic coming on behind him, including Bani Ismiaso on his debut. We are on board with Bani. He's got Luis Moreno for company, and Fadli Rakhmat in front of him, Melvin Moe and Jason Tay. So let's just see how Bani's able to cope. We are now on lap number 2, and now tactics come into play, because you can think of DRS, you can think of when to use it, how to use it, and to see also if Mohammed Nakib can pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, Bani making a small mistake as he came onto this Brooklyn straight. So I'm not sure he's going to get a run on Fadli Rakhmat at the moment. But now we are back with the lead battle. Look at that. And Mohammed Nakib, whoa, being shadowed by Arjun Maini. Arjun Maini is a very experienced racer, Formula 2 driver for the last 2 years. He's doing European Le Mans this year when that season kicks off again. Oh, I need to ask him. He might be doing Le Mans, actually. If he does Le Mans, he'll be racing with against us. But look at that, Arjun Maini. He's a very quick driver. He'll know Silverstone very well. So if there are any alternate lines he can do, especially through the infield sections, he'll be trying them.
Andika Rama beginning to make a move on Arjun Maini. Hasn't implemented the DRS just yet, but he's close enough to, as they go around that left-right.
Nakib there getting on the grass. That's going to cost him. Arjun Maini's definitely going to breeze up and go by. Look at that DRS taking it. And because of that mistake by Nakib, I think Andika's going to go through. No, Andika, he releases the DRS. Or is he going to try and go around the outside? He looks at it. He's looking at it. They're touching. There's contact. He's got the inside now for this corner. Will he go through? Oh, Nakib's staying there, though. Now Nakib's got the inside for the next corner. And he holds on to P2.
Did really well. Josh Purwin has also joined that little group as well, but it's Arjun Maini who goes through at the end of lap number 2 and on to lap number 3. Andy Karama has a look once again, pressurising. Can't get on the inside through corner 1, round Abbey, up through Farm and onto the sharp right hand of Village. And again, a third attempt. So much contact. These drivers got to be careful they don't get kicked out, Alex Young.
Yeah, gosh. Andika there having a lot of contact with Nakib. Strange to have so much contact this early on. Is he going to go down the inside? He's not looking down the inside. They both have DRS open as they try and hunt down Arjun Maini. Andika then again touching Nakib, just continuing to touch Nakib through those sequence of corners.
Arjun Maini has got the lead. You can see Josh Purwin. We've not really mentioned Josh. Quietly just manoeuvred himself nicely into P number 4. Remember, 3 second places in succession last week. It's so close to being the glory boy. as has been the story for him all season 1 as well. Maybe Josh Purwin is going to make a move here. P4, or will he just say to the others, listen, I've got you in my sights. I know there's parts of this track where I'm quick enough to overtake you.
Josh has been very quiet over these first few laps. He lost the position off the starts to Andika Rama, but he's been very, very quiet. So he's just shadowing these three, maybe looking after the tyres. He'll probably thinks that they're going to have a lot of contact between them. Oh, look at that. Nakib now taking back the lead, using the DRS. And looks Andika Rama goes through as well. That looks to be Andika then now looking to the outside onto the next corner here. But Nakib holds on to the pole position, holds on to the lead at the moment.
As they come round towards the end of what will be lap number 3 for them. But over 14 minutes still to go. There's a long way still to go in this race. Means maybe we can just look a little bit further down the field and focus on one or two others. Fadli Rakhmat is in a battle there in P7. He's in P7. He's got Bani Ismiaso from Indonesia very close to him. Further down, Luis Moreno is in P9 ahead of Brody Steen and Yevon David from Sri Lanka. In fact, Yevon David's got himself ahead or level with Brody Steen. Steen in the white and blue. Yevon David in the blue and white. Dafa Ab on debut as well. Let's just focus on Yevon David just for a moment. Although Nakib is making a move on at the very front of the grid.
Yeah, Andika's got through him. He got through him before on the Brooklyn Straight. So he's up to the lead. Now he's got DRS. That's a place you want to overtake if you want to try and break away. So Andika now, he's got to get the hammer down. If you can pull away and try and break the DRS zone, hope that Nakib and maybe Arjun Maini start fighting behind him, then that race win might look very good for him.
Arjun Maini is indeed trying to capitalise on the back, but once again, the man who got into the lead doesn't look really able to run away with things. We saw Tarunya able to do it on race number 2 in Group A, where he won quite comfortably, but he was able to get a lead. Neither Andika, Nakib or Arjun, all who've had the lead have been able to do that. Arjun Maini implements DRS and slides through very neat and tidily into P2.
Yeah, so now look at that, Andika running wide there. So Arjun Maini, he needs to try and close the gap to Andika. Can't let him get away, but Andika's looking very good there. He's trying to increase the gap. 6/10 now, not enough. So Arjun Maini, the Indian, will have DRS in this next lap.
Andika Rama in white. Very often you don't want to be leading going over the start-finish line, but there's 12 minutes left. There'll be plenty of Julian. That's the joy of the DRS. I know you were worried about implementing DRS, but it is the joy in the people, if they use it tactically well, Alex, they're still in a race going into the final lap.
That is true. And it is, like we were talking about in Group A, it's a tactical chess, high-speed chess match as they try and figure out when to use the DRS. Oh, Nakib is going to get it run on Arjun Maini. Arjun Maini, I think, must have had a mistake because he's lost a bit of time to Andika Rama. I know he's running wide. It's going to allow Nakib to come down the inside. Not able to do it. Arjun able to hold the position there as they both shadow the white car of the leader, Andika Rama.
Andika leads. Arjun Maini second. Josh Purwin is still happily shadowing them in fourth without making a real impression, but that means he's got plenty of contact opportunities later on. A little bit further down, Simke Wern, the amateur champion, is in P16. Tubagas Farhan is bringing up the tail. If Tubagas is at the tail, it tells you it's a very strong group of racers that we've got out there.
Yeah, we didn't see what happened to Tubagas, but now he's at the back. I got a feeling he'll be targeting the reverse grid race later on because he'll probably start at the front for that one.
Debutant Dafa Ab, marvellous name from Indonesia. He's got himself into P12 ahead of the always competitive Filipino Daryl Brady, Ryan Keith from Singapore and James Russell from Malaysia in the Mercedes. Now then, back to the front. Andika's lost out to Arjun Maini. Arjun has the lead. How many lead changes this, Alex? It's about 6 already.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be getting about 2 lead changes a lap. So very exciting indeed. Look at that, Josh Purwin in P4 now. He's just at the back there shadowing this 3. I'm surprised Josh hasn't tried to get involved yet, try to overtake, make his way to the lead. Maybe he's just biding his time. The Australian is a very intelligent racer, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's thinking about along those lines.
It does make sense if that's the tactic, because there's still a long time to go. 10 minutes as they are on lap 6 now. You're seeing the dueling going on between Arjun as Andika retakes the lead temporarily. Arjun tries to win it back, but Andika Rama in the white is the new race leader. Nakib goes through on the left to take P2. Arjun Maney drops to P3, and Josh Purwin lets them get on with it.
Yeah, he does. But I wonder if you'll know that Maney in front of him does not have DRS. So maybe Josh might use DRS after Beckett's and try and get past the Indian down Hanger Straight.
This time it's Nakib who tries to get close onto the back of Andika Rama. Andika just able to hold on around the sharp right hand, but Andika Nakib. Purwin's got beyond Maney, and Josh Purwin has made the move into P3. Maybe he isn't as patient as we thought, or maybe he's decided 10 minutes is enough time to get myself a race win here.
Yeah, he also doesn't want the front two to disappear away from him. Oh, Purwin did not have a great exit out of turn 14 there onto the Hanger Straight. So, but he does have the DRS, and he slowly pulls away from Arjun Maney. But Arjun would still be getting a lot of slipstream effect from that. So he'll still be able to stay within DRS zone for the next lap.
The Freemans of Andika Rama leads the way ahead of Nakib. Andika Rama last week had a P2 in race number 1 and then failed to get on the scoreboard in race 2 or the final. So a little bit of inconsistency on weekend number 1 for Andika Rama. But with 8.5 minutes to go, he leads this race from Mohammed Nakib. Josh Purwin mainly decides, maybe I can't really afford to let those front three get away from me. So it is a 4-man race to the line.
Well, the big question for me is whether Purwin is close enough for DRS zone, because if he's not close enough, the front two might just disappear from this battle for 3rd and 4th position. No, he has got the DRS. We just saw the rear wing tilt back, and look at that. Maney's also got DRS. That should allow him to close the gap to the guys just in front.
Indeed they do. It's just over a second, the differential there. There's Nakib just closing in a little bit too close on Andika Rama. The contact between those two not as fraught as it was a couple of laps ago, where it seemed they were touching every other moment. Arjun Maney in P4, 180 up to 200 kilometers an hour as they come sweeping around this right hand corner.
Funnily enough, Maney not using the DRS down that back, one of the back straights at least. Saw Purwin using it. He's determined to try and get onto the battle for the lead, because his front two are still, they're pushing hard. They got about a second gap between P2 and P3.
They certainly have. You look at Nakib in P2 there. You compare the next car to him, Andika Rama, that's very close. But then you move on to Josh Purwin, and the differential, it's just below a second. But that's an eon. Yeah, it's one mistake, but 1 second means you can't pull the slipstream. And is it out the DRS zone, Alex?
Well, it's right on the edge. Purwin is right on the edge of the DRS zone. He has to be perfect through these next few corners. Perfect with a PURR if he's going to get back into the DRS zone. And he needs it, because the front two are definitely inching away at the moment.
We'll just break away from that. There's a good battle going on between Fadli Rahmat, Bani Ismailasso and Luis Moreno for P7. Melvin Moe is the leader of that little group. Sorry, it's Melvin Moe, Fadli and Bani. Luis Moreno is a bit further down. Jason Tay was in the red car just in front of them. But it's good to see the likes of Bani being competitive.
Yes, it is. Melvin Moe, real life racer, very good GT3 driver from the region. Been around a long time, and it's great to see him going pretty well. P6 is quite good for him at this point.
Let's go back up to the top, where Andika Rama is still holding the lead. Nakib in P2. Purwin has been able to close that gap. I know you're worried about that, so he has been able to close it to 0.3 of a second as they come round Luffield, up Woodcut, and onto the long straight that leads into the wonderful Cops Corner.
I tell you what, though, Andika Rama's doing a great job, because he doesn't have the benefit of the DRS like Nakib does behind him, but he's still holding a big gap. I would have expected Nakib to have tried to make a move down one of these back straights, but he hasn't closed the gap that much. Now, though, he gets a bit closer to turns 13 and 14. Maybe this is the moment he's been waiting for. Now he has the DRS. Will he try and overtake at this point? It's not a good position. From what I've seen so far, it's not a good idea to overtake down hanger this early on. But Nakib decides to do it. Nope, he decides to back out of it. I think that might be the smart move. If you are going to fight for the lead and you want to try and take the move and then use the DRS to scamper off into the distance, you don't want to do it around hanger straight, because then it's too close to the finish line. So the guy right behind you will be very close as they start the next lap. So what you need to try and do is be really close as you cross the start-finish line and overtake on one of the earlier straights, the Brooklyn straight perhaps, or the Woodcut straight. If you can do it there, then you can use the DRS on the hanger straight to try and pull out a gap to hopefully maintain that lead. But look at that, Rama, very committed through turn 2. Is able to, he knows that's what Nakib's thinking. So he's thinking, right, I got to pull out this gap somehow, and he's trying ever so hard to do it. But Nakib, look, he's close enough. This is now the pivotal part of the race. Is he close enough? Can he overtake? Oh, Rama was so good to turns 1 and 2. He's got that gap. Nakib, he's not close enough, I feel. No, he is. Nakib sends it down the inside. Andika leaves some space because he knows he's on the inside for the next corner. But now, out of this last corner, out of this corner especially, Luffield, Nakib now will have the run. He'll have the DRS. This is where he needs to overtake the Indonesian so he can use the DRS through hanger straight. He goes to the outside, uses a piece of the track, gets through. Now turn 1, goes through nicely. Now he needs to be perfect to these next sequence of corners, because there's got to be 2 more laps at least after this if he wants to try and get a bit of a gap to the Indonesian in the white car right behind him.
Mohamed Nakib has the lead for Malaysia, the teenager. Under pressure, though, from Andika Rama. They have pulled away from Josh Purwin. It's over a second gap between P2 and the pink car of Josh Purwin. Andika Rama, he implements the DRS. Can't make that move, though, as they come onto the right-hand Stowe corner. Then Andika, nice tight line. Then through onto Vale. There'll be the little chicane just before they come into the final corner of what will be lap number 9 for them, which means there will be, at the end of this, Alex Young, 2 more laps of dueling.
2 more laps indeed. I tell you what, I think Rama's looking very good. He just looks a bit faster to me. I think he's driving this track a little bit better at the moment than Nakib, because when he was out in front, Nakib was really struggling to overtake even with the DRS, and now Rama just looks very menacing there. This first sector of the lap, Rama looks very, very good indeed. I think he's got something on everyone else, and look, he's looking really nice there. Will he try and overtake? There'll be 1 more lap after this. I'd give it a go if I was Rama. Try. No, he's not using the DRS. He's just sitting there. He's going to leave it to the last race. That's very risky, because you know why? Purwin will be closing on these 2 drivers. And then Purwin might get into the mix if he's not careful.
Andika Rama, as they go round Brooklands, Luffield, and then through Woodcott. And then on this lovely long straight, there's a Woodcott right-hand turn. Lovely long straight. No DRS implemented at this stage anyway. Around the fast cops. Purwin, where is Josh Purwin? He's not too far behind. You called that right, Alex. He has closed down.
Yeah, Purwin wants to win this race. He's got to try and get in the mix here. He's got to try and get to second, I feel. Andika, I think he wants to go across the finish line to start the last lap right here, within 2/10 of the leader. Because for me, that'll put him in pole position to win the race. Nakib knows this. He's either going to try and back off. See, look, Andika's not even using the DRS. He's just sitting there. He doesn't want to overtake. Where's Purwin, though? Purwin's going to look to the outside. This is a very risky move by Andika, because he wants to be in that position. But now he's being under attack by Purwin. Will Purwin try it on the inside? If he does, oh, look at that. Oh,
Arjun Maini goes on the outside. Purwin can't hold him off. Purwin was looking for P3, is having to hold off India's Arjun Maini. A 4-man race. It is a last lap sprint. Nakib, from Andika, from Josh Purwin, from Arjun Maini. And everyone is close enough. And the problem for Nakib, he cannot implement DRS.
Yeah, the car in the lead, the blue car, Nakib, he doesn't have DRS, but the 3 cars behind, they do. His only hope is to be perfect and hope to get the cars behind scrapping for positions fall over each other and give him a chance. But look, Andika now, he's got the DRS. He's going to make a move on Nakib into Brooklands. Look, he's closing the gap. Nakib's going to cover the inside. That's the right move to do. You got to try and cover the inside. The only chance Nakib has of winning this race is try and hold on to the lead, at least so they get the hanger. Okay, this last corner, the exit's so vital for Nakib. This most important corner of the whole race for him. He's nailed it. He's got a great exit. But Andika has DRS. Inching closer. Nakib's going to cover the inside. 3 by 3. They're almost 3 abreast. Andika goes around the outside. Takes the lead. Side by side, the leaders. And look at that. Perwin and Arjun getting close too.
Andika Rama does indeed have the lead, but it is side by side. They are going to complete the lap, you suspect, like this. Nakib tries to hold off Andika Rama. Josh Perwin comes through into P2. Arjun into P3. Nakib is pushed from P1 to P4 on the very last lap. Now then, Josh Perwin, the perennial second place man. Is he able to put pressure on Andika Rama? Perwin in the pink. They've got to get it ready. It's the final chicane. Andika Rama holds on. The white of Andika holds on, gets it right. Josh Perwin accelerates out onto the final corner. But Andika Rama it is who takes it for Indonesia. Perwin second again. Arjun on the podium after his comeback, and Nakib first going into that last lap, finishes fourth.
Wow, what a great race that was. Whew. Very, very, very hot. Like I said, a high-speed game of chess. Drivers never really knowing where they are, just holding a little bit in their pocket. Poker, maybe even. But what a great win for Andika. Andika, well-deserved win. He planned that perfectly, strategy-wise, and I think today in this race he was the quickest car.
Wow, terrific. Andika Rama Malana. He picked up a second place in race number 1 last week. He's picked up a victory here. Fastest lap was... He's not far off fastest lap. 1:52.3. I think he's got a fastest lap as well, Alex. So that's a 27 points first race for Andika Rama Malana.
That's great for Andika. He was right up there in round 1, but he had problems with the internet and was kicked off the server in the final, so he didn't get the points we expected him to get. But obviously in this championship you can drop rounds from one championship, so from one round. So if he drops the round 1 points, he's back into this championship hunt.
To Hendra Adaputra and to Harish Sharmi and Oliver and JS Navarro and Jamal Lacuna. Hope you're enjoying the racing. From your comments, you clearly are, and you have got every right to, because you can't do much better than have 4 guys going into a sprint on the last lap of a 20-minute race, Alex, and it being decided almost on the last corner.
Yeah, we've had both races happen on the last corner, last lap even. But really, well done, Andika Rama. I mean, we see this time again, though, don't we, Des? He's maybe in qualifying, he doesn't quite put the lap together, but always in the race, he is there. He's always the fastest car in the race, or just about. Actually, I saw this in the McLaren Shadow Project last year in Singapore, where Josh Perwin won that. Andika here, he finished runner-up. And it's the same thing. Great in the races, not so great in the qualifying.
Andika Rama, fastest lap, 27 points. Perwin, second again. We just have him, Josh Perwin, runner up. Arjun Maini, what a comeback for the Indian. Nakib, well, yeah, you'll pick up points, but he's not used to being muscled out like that. And Jason Tay also in there in P4. You're watching eRacing GP Global Edition. It's the big boys, it's the gold guys, and we've seen in the first 3 races tonight, Alex, exactly why they are the gold guys.
Yeah, I mean, racing of the highest caliber, really. We saw it in Group A. We just seen race 1 for Group B. And now we go to race 2 of Group B, which is a reverse grid races. So the guys who are at the front, they now start right at the back. And the guys at the back start right at the front. And we know that this is a race that always has fireworks.
And with the likes of Ryan Keith being on pole position as we get underway, reverse grid race. Race 2 is underway. Ryan Keith and Darryl Brady are on the first row of the grid. Tobagas and James Russell behind them. Dafa Ab loses pace, but Keith has got off to a stunning start. We saw in race number 2 in Group A, Alex. The guy who got off to a great start raced away to a lead and raced away to a victory. Now then, Ryan Keith looks like he's looked at that and is trying to replicate it.
Yeah, so Ryan Keith, his teammate is Jevan David. Jevan won the reverse grid race in the silver class in round 1. So Ryan Keith is going to try and do the same thing. He's going to try and break the gap to the DRS, and that's had a great first sector there. Look at that, 1.3 on Darrell Brady. So if Keith can just do that and just drive nice and consistent. The key is consistency. I've seen Keith be very quick on occasion, but he doesn't quite have the experience perhaps of the others to be as consistent as the others.
A little bit further down, Luis Moreno, the pride of the Philippines, currently in P5. James Russell ahead of him. To Bagas Farhan and Darrell Brady. I tell you what, they are 4 very, very capable racers. Yevon David and Dafa Ab and Brody Steen completing the top 8. Mohamed Nakib has worked his way very rapidly through to P10. Alex, do you think he was rather chastened by the 4th place finish in race 1?
Absolutely. Oh, there's a car that just spun off. But yes, Nakib, what a great first half lap. Up to P9 now. That's really good job. Wow, when a driver this fast, you know, the drivers who can run at the front like that have that sort of first lap, you know they're going to get amongst the top 3 very soon.
Arjun Maini and Yevon David had problems there. It was Yevon David who span out that caused the consternation for Alex Young. Ryan Keith's lead is nearly a second from Darrell Brady to Bagas Farhan, currently in P3. Let's have a look at Sim K-Wern, the amateur champion in race 1. He's down in P11. Let's just stick with Ryan Keith, Alex. See, is he quick enough to get away, the Singaporean?
That's $1 million question. He's had a great first lap, but look at that. Brady now closing the gap. Ryan Keith, though, coming through the last corners there. Well, not last corner. Corner onto the Brooklyn straight now. Easy flat through this bit. Oh, Tobagos has overtaken Brady into second position. Look at that. Side by side as they go through those corners. Well done, Mr. Director. Brady, though, Tobagos with the DRS just pulls away, drives off into the sunset.
Tobagos then goes a little bit wide. Brady tries to come through once again. This is great news for Ryan Keith because while these two are dueling, he tries to get a little bit further away, but he was 1.4 seconds clear. It's now under a second. Further behind them, Luis Moreno has done well, so a couple of Filipino drivers got themselves into the top 4, Alex.
Yeah, Luis Moreno is really good. We've seen him win a reverse grid race in Global Edition already. Very, very experienced Filipino. Very, very well known in the region. He's fast across all the different platforms. So look at this. P4 is in good position. He's out of the DRS zones of Brady and Tobagos just ahead of him. But he has the pace to close that gap. Ooh, but he has got a bit of lag there, Des. Moreno's based in the Philippines, and he was complaining on some of the chats earlier that he's having trouble getting the internet working to the level he needs. So, and you can see that there is a little bit of lag in that black Mercedes.
We'll keep a little eye on that. We'll also keep an eye on Melvin Moe, Arjun Maini and Josh Purwin. So Melvin Moe's just gone past James Russell. Arjun Maini and Josh Purwin, tell you what, he's dropped down dramatically. He was up in P9 not long ago. Now he's down battling with Arjun Maini for P15. He's up to P14. Got James Russell in his sight, so Josh must have made a mistake.
Yeah, very unusual there. Josh is normally very good at this. Further up, though, I don't know if you've seen that, but Andika Rama's had a great second or third lap there because he's now up to P7.
There is Andika Rama into P7. Let's see what the... now then, Tobagos has closed right up on Ryan Keith.
He's got the DRS, though, as well. He's really close there. Keith is going to be in trouble as they go into the sunset again. Tobagos, look at that. Oh, DRS and slipstream. Extra top speed as they break into Brooklands here. Oh, Keith looks to go around the outside. There's contact between the two of them. But Tobagos has gone through to the lead.
So Tobagos Farhan, another of the quick Indonesian. It's Indonesia Day here at Silverstone. They won both races in the Group A. Now Tobagos Farhan Nofal is leading in race number 2. Darrell Brady, the latest to put pressure on Ryan Keith. He was leading at one time by a second and a half, but any slovenliness and you're in real danger, and Darrell Brady begins to make a move. Darrell on the inside of Ryan Keith. Keith just able to hold on, flicks through the left, right, left combination just manages to hold on.
Brady, though, making a mistake at the key part of the track. That means he's lost the gap to Keith, and even though Brady's got the DRS, he's too far away now. I don't think he's going to get up to second position. That was a key mistake for him, because now he's also got Brody Steen all over the back of him as well, and behind Steen you got Rahmat and Andika Rama.
Darrell Brady's got a number of fans on the Facebook following. Let's see if he can get close once again to Ryan Keith. You're quite right, though, about Brody Steen. Steen is right there. Contact between Brady and Ryan Keith. Brady, though, has got a better drive out. Tries to go on the left. Can't make it. Tries to go on the inside. Can't get there. Implements the DRS. Now he makes a move alongside Ryan Keith. Darrell Brady up into P2, Alex Young.
But Keith, though, stays on this outside, so he's got the inside for turn 2. But now Brady's got the inside for turn 3. Keith, though, great defending by the Singaporeans, who holds on to that position. Wow, really good defending. Really put that car perfect there. So Keith holds on to second position. Ooh, as we see the lagging Brady on the outside there, as Brody Steen now looks to go down the inside of him into Brooklyn.
I need to tell you, this is now a 5-way battle. You've got Keith Brady, Brody Steen. You've also got Andy Karama, Fadli Rahmat, and Mohammed Nakib in this little melting pot.
Wow, this is going to be really good for Tabagos. Look at Tabagos now. 3.5 seconds up in the lead. This is just what he wanted. He wanted everyone to fight for second position. And look at that lead. It's going to be really hard to reel him in. But for now, let's concentrate on this battle for second position. Nakib down the inside at Cops. And then they just got Keith in front of him, following Rama. And Dika Rama, out of all that, goes from, I think, like P6 to P2.
Indeed, he does. And there's a real battle behind them as well. Moreno, the lag. A little bit disconcerting on the back of Brody Steen. Fadli Rahmat is in there as well. But Tubagas Farhan is leading. That's Andika coming through. Ryan Keith under intense pressure, though, from Nakib. Nakib goes back into P3. Ryan Keith drops into P4, and he's under pressure also from Darrell Brady and Fadli Rahmat and Brody Steen and Lewis Moreno and Uncle Tom Cobley and all.
Oof, it's like I'm breaking there. Turn 16, 17. Look at that. Oh, so close. Moreno, though, he was in such a good position a couple laps ago, but now shuffled all the way down to 8th.
Wow, Jason Tay's joined in the fun as well. He's got in there. And Josh Perwin has also got on the tail end of that group. He's made fine progress, unseen over the last 3 laps, Alex.
Yeah, up to 10. He was a lot higher, like you mentioned, but obviously he had contact with someone, I think, because he dropped right down. But yeah, look at all these cars. And look, Perwin has Maney on the inside of him. Look at that as they go through turns 4 and 5. DRS opening, though, down onto the straight there. You pick up the DRS so early through there because turn 5 is so easy flat. You don't need the downforce. Rather have the lack of drag than the extra downforce from that rear wing. Wow, and I'm breaking through into Brooklands here. Look how busy it all is between all these drivers.
Darrell Brady currently is the man in P4, but he's got Ryan Keith just ahead of him. Fadli Rahmat's in there. Jason Tay, Lewis Moreno, Josh Perwin. It's a steel sandwich. An eRacing steel sandwich. Nakib has got himself up into P3, but this is a fascinating battle for P5. Brady now, in P4. Ryan Keith in 5. 1 to 6 of them with barely a second between them, Alex. And more are joining by the minute. Melvin Moe down in P12. They're all part of this scrap.
Yeah, getting very close indeed. Melvin 12. Wow, he'll wish to be right at the front of the scrap. It's not where he should be. He should be further up. But still, there's 10 minutes to go. Plenty of time to do it.
Okay, let's look at the front where Tubagas has stretched a 2-second lead. Andy Karama, though, will be closing that down. But look who's right on the tail of Andy Karama. Mohammed Nakib, 4th in race 1. Didn't like it, was booted out from P1 at the start of the lap to finish 4th. Andy Karama was the man who won race 1. Now Nakib wants a little bit of payback. 10 minutes, half the race still to go. So just bide your time, Nakib. Or maybe not too much, because Tubagas Farhan is still 2 seconds ahead of them.
Yeah, but you're right. If I was on Nakib, I'd just stay there. Because Andika Rama's going to try and close the gap to Tobagos, and they are. Both these cars are closing. It was over 3 seconds just now. It's now just under 2 seconds. So this fight for second position could easily become a three-way fight for the lead.
Just to tell you, James Russell and Dafa Ab have been pushed out of the game. That battle for P4 continues to be unrelenting. Brady, Rackmat, Moreno, Perwin, Arjamani, Jason Tay, all in that battle. We're on board with Darrell Brady, Fadley Rackmat alongside him. Brady just eases into him. Moreno, pride of the Philippines, looks on the inside, and Perwin in the pink is looking to take advantage as well. Terrific eRacing. I love the contact. It's you wouldn't be allowed to do this kind of contact in real racing, Alex Young. It just adds to the entertainment value.
Well, at this level, when you start having that sort of contact, drivers are like, right, they get a bit annoyed, and you end up in the wall because someone will be like, okay, that's enough, and put you in the wall. You're in the sim racing though. There is AI that will penalize you and kick you out of the race if you do it too much. So drivers actually are a little bit better behaved in the virtual world than in the real world.
Haris Shami rather agreeing that this is a little bit insane, the battles that we are seeing. Andika Rama under pressure for P2. Let's go and join that temporarily. Nakib, they've closed up, I tell you. They've closed up on Tobagos Farhan.
I'm very surprised. Tobagos is a very quick driver. I thought he would be able to maintain the gap. But such is the pace of Andika and Nakib that they have closed out the gap visibly there too as well, Des.
Last lap for Tobagos, a 1:54.3. For Andika, a 1:53.3. For Mohamed Nakib, a 1:53.2. That's why that gap was closed.
So this two-way battle for second is now going to be a three-way battle for the lead. Tobagos, so yeah, he needs, if he's saving his tires for a bit of extra pace towards the end of the race, that's great. But if he isn't, he's going to get swallowed up by these two cars straight away.
Okay, let's leave the battle for P1 just for a moment. Moreno has got himself ahead of Brady in that battle of Filipino pride. Moreno leads Brady. Perwin has purred through into P6 but is under pressure from Fadley Rackmat. Arjun Maney is also being elevated through. Perwin is right on the side there of Darrell Brady. Perwin would love to make that move as Moreno goes through. Brady and Perwin, they swap places. Josh Perwin has got himself ahead of Darrell Brady. Perwin has manoeuvred his way from P18 at one stage, Alex, into well, what is he? He's behind Moreno in 4, so Perwin currently in P5.
Wow, good job by the Australian. Great recovery drive, really. And also good job by Moreno. Moreno was in 8th just a lap ago, and he's obviously used the DRS, got the strategy right, and now up to P4.
Okay, Andika Rama goes around the outside of Tobagos Farhan to take the lead. Employing the DRS, Tobagos, who had a comfortable 2-second lead, wasn't able to capitalize it. Now Mohamed Nakib is also trying to make that move as they go around the chicane onto the final corner of lap number 7. 6.5 minutes to go. As in race number 1, it's a three-way battle for the time. Moreno's 8 seconds behind these, so I'm sure, barring a massive mistake, these three are going to be competing for the 3 podium places.
Wow, but look at that. Andika's bolting. He's just bolting like a hare. And Nakib knows that, so he's impatient. He dives down the inside of Tobagos to make that position because he knows. And Andika's just running away. 1.2 seconds, 1.1 seconds. He's outside of DRS zone. Nakib has to pull that gap in if he wants to fight for the lead. Because look, Andika knows this is his moment. He has a fellow Indonesian that was between him and Nakib, and he has the pace now to try and open up that gap at the lead.
Andika Rama has that lead. It is over a second from Nakib. Tobagos in P3. Moreno leading an insane battle for P4 ahead of Bradley and Fadley Rackmat and Arjun Maney and Jason Tay and Melvin Moe. Look at this as they come down. 2 abreast, maybe sometimes 3 abreast. It's Jason Tay in the red. Arjun Maney. Brady makes a move on Fadley Rackmat. Or does he? The answer is no, not at this stage. Further down, yeah, Josh Perwin's down in P10, Alex. Another mistake from Josh Perwin. What's going on? So un-Perwin-like.
Wow, so yeah, what happened to Perwin? Very uncharacteristic, like you said. He has got the DRS now. See all the cars in front, they're tilting back to the rear wing. DRS stands for drag reduction system. So basically, when you push the wing back like that, it's like an aeroplane. It just reduces the downforce, but it also reduces the drag, which helps the top line speed.
Nakib has got back close to Andika Rama. Tobagas has been dropped. Nakib, that is a brilliant bit of racing, because there was a second gap and you were worried, or not worried, but you feared for Nakib that Andika would get away. Now, Andika is the man under pressure with 4.5 minutes to go, Alex.
Wow, yeah, you're right. I thought Andika had the race won. He was bolting. But Nakib, out of camera, has just had a perfect second half of this lap because he's closed down that gap. Look at it. He's right all over the back of the Indonesian. It's anyone's race now. And, of course, Nakib, hopefully he would have learned from race 1 where he was leading going to the last lap, but ended up finishing in P4. He's got the DRS now. Does he want to overtake? Oh, look, Andika's letting him through. But see, Nakib's pulling out of that. He doesn't want to take the lead at this point. He doesn't want to cross the finish line in the lead because he knows he'll be vulnerable. But he can't afford to be too careful because Tobagas is in P3. And if he closes that gap, he'll be within the drag reduction system range as well. And that will be very tricky for all three of them.
So many things going through the mind of Mohamed Nakib. Maybe he will make a move. Decides, nope, not on this occasion. We'll keep a very close eye on that. Meantime, Fadli Rakhmat has got himself ahead of Luis Moreno into P4. Arjun Mailey's been dragged through to P6. Brady, Jason Tay and Josh Purwin has rejoined that crazy battle for P4. It's not beyond the margins that that Purwin could get himself up into P4 even now.
Yeah, it's what is that, like a 10-car battle for position 4? It's like watching an old Formula Ford race. It's fantastic. But here we are, battle for the lead. Andika Rama in the white car from Indonesia. Mohamed Nakib from Malaysia in the blue Mercedes. They're just tracking each other as the time counts down. 2 more laps to go after this lap as we come to the last few corners.
Having a real close look of the grill there of Mohamed Nakib. I love you, he says, as they... Is this the start-finish line or is this after Woodcott? I often get that one wrong. Yeah, we're around Cops.
Start-finish line.
Oh, start-finish line. And then through Farm onto Village. So we will have 2 more laps, Alex Young.
We will have 2 more laps as we watch the drivers now. Nakib, though, he's just going to sit there, isn't he? Andika's probably at some point going to start slowing down and to hope that... because he doesn't want to lead across the line for the last race.
But if he slows down and Nakib slows down, Tobagas Farhan could still maybe have a say in this race.
Yeah, but I tell you what, if that's going to happen, we might see that happen, actually. Andika needs to start playing the strategy game and slow down a lot more.
Well, he had a 154 last lap, which is a full second down on his previous lap, Tobagas. So the DRS is employed by Nakib. Now then, is this where Nakib makes his move? I tell you what, Andika Rama was almost saying, come past me, young fella. I want to be having the DRS employed on the final lap.
Yes. Through Maggots, through Beckett's they go. There's 1 more lap after this. What is going to happen? This is poker at this point. Is someone going to call each other's bluff? Nakib, though, he doesn't want to lead onto the last lap. We're coming to the end of the penultimate lap. Look, he's just sitting there. Andika's going, come on, come through. Who's going to have the DRS? Who's going to have the lead? But more importantly, who's going to have the 3 DRS pushers on that last lap? Because if you're within a second of the car in front, let's just explain it to everyone. DTM, like Formula 1, has a DRS. DRS stands for the drag reduction system. And like Formula 1, that's through the rear wing. You just open the rear wing, which sheds the downforce that gives the car grip, but it also sheds the drag. You can see the DRS activating now. Nakib, is he going to go through to turn 1? He does. No! Rama goes to the outside, defends the position.
Now it's a full lap sprint. This will be the final lap. Andika Rama, winner of race number 1, ahead of Mohamed Nakib. Nakib lost on the last lap in race number 1. He was clearly burned by that experience, so he waited and waited and waited. He wants the DRS, uses the DRS, comes through now down the long Brooklyn straight. The DRS implements, and Mohammed Nakib elevates himself into P1. Then Andika Rama comes through. Nakib, one opportunity has been taken from him. Andika still holds on. Brilliant defensive driving.
Wow, Andika there, brilliant defensive driving. Like you said, I couldn't have said it better. Oh, so Nakib's using the DRS now. I would have saved it for the hangar straight. Does he have another DRS? I'm not sure if he has another DRS because I've seen him use it twice. But across the start-finish straight, I don't know if it was the end of the lap before or the beginning of this lap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if Nakib has another DRS. And if he doesn't, then this is Andika's race to win.
Through Maggots, through Beckett's, onto Chapel, now onto the hangar straight. After this corner, the DRS is employed. This is the move from Mohammed Nakib. It's now or never, young fella. Nakib makes the move. They come towards Stowe. Nakib goes on the right-hand side. Andika Rama defends. Nakib cannot get around the outside because Andika holds his line superbly. Andika Rama holds on, takes another last lap victory away from Mohammed Nakib. They come around onto the final corner. It will be Andika Rama for a race double ahead of Mohammed Nakib. To Bagas Farham will be in P3. You can almost sense Nakib's frustration. Arjamani will take P4 ahead of Moreno. Fadli Rakhmat, Jason Tay in P7 ahead of Perwin, Brady, Yevon David, Ryan Keith, Simke Wern not too far behind in P12, and Bani, the last of the 13 racers. But holy mackerel, holy smoke, that was terrific from Andika Rama.
Wow, Des, that was exceptional to watch because Andika looked like he was a sitting duck. Nakib had the DRS going into the last lap. But Andika, you're so good to the first few corners, defended into Brooklands right here perfectly. So that was really, really good. But more importantly, out of Maggots, he was so nailed through Maggots. He got on the power so early and onto the hangar straight. And Nakib was very ordinary through there. So Andika had a great lead at the beginning of hangar straight. And Nakib, you could see him closing and closing and closing. But Andika had just done it so well through Maggots, and that is why he was a race winner. So out of nowhere to become the first double race winner for round 2.
Miko Nasi liked the form there. He's a big thumbs up. Woot says Jamil Lacuna. You clearly, racers, enjoyed that one. I hope if you're watching it live or the highlights that we put together, it's difficult to cut this down to 2 minutes, guys. Make it less fun, please.
This is what racing's all about, though. I mean, we forget how much entertainment motorsport can be. And hats off to these drivers, you know, giving us this entertainment, pushing as hard as they can. Fantastic racing. And well done, Andika. Struggled in round 1, but back with a bang for round 2.
As for Nakib, twice he was thwarted on the last lap. This young fella's not used to coming second.
Yeah. We had weaker group stages, didn't he, in round 1. He came really well, did really well for the final for round 1. Let's see what happens for tomorrow.
Okay, confirmation of the final scorecard. Andika Rama, a double again, fastest lap and 15 points ahead of Nakib. Congratulations to Bagas, third place ahead of Arjamani. That's some comeback from India's Arjamani. Moreno, the best of the Filipinos, in 5th. Fadli Rakhmat from Jason Tay, 8th. Josh Perwin, so he ends his run of runners-up by an 8th place. Darryl Brady ahead of Yevon David, who is the last of the point scorers. Ryan Keith, who had the lead at one stage, finishing down in P11. But that was some race.
Okay, wow, what can I say about that? That was really, truly exciting racing. I think with Andika taking the double win, that will put him in pole position for tomorrow's final, which is just great. I think Jaka Susoyo will line up, so it'll be all Indonesian front row. You know, every race we've had so far in the Go class today, in Group A, race 1 and 2, Group B, race 1 and 2, have been won by Indonesians. So a very good day indeed.
A little Jakarta from home in Silverstone here on eRacing GP. So, brilliant stuff. Now then, we haven't finished our racing yet, so those who've been online watching that, please stick on with us because the Copper Edition racers are making their way. They've been on the circuit practicing. Yeah. They're in different cars. Sorry, it is the Copper, isn't it? They're in different cars. They're in the World Touring Car Championships, Alex.
Yes, so we are now, we have to change servers obviously. So let's have a look at the copper class. With the finished round 1, let's look at the spotters guide first for round 1 for the copper class, shall we, Des?
Certainly will. Okay, Zuril Sumadabila is the man who is in the driver's seat in terms of the overall championship standings. He picked up 2 second places and 4 points for qualification. Nasri Aslan is also in there. Zarif Hazik Johari in there as well. Edward Wong, Alan Escotto. Good Malaysian and Filipino entrants for us there. So Zuriel Sumadabila is the man really to look forward to. Now, we're going to have a slight change in how we do this, in that we are going to get Amo Hazik on the line in just a short while, just to try to take his spot, and he will be in the commentary box with me, but we'll also work through. There is the overall championship standings as it stand. Zuriel Sumadabila is the man in charge. Nasri Aslan, Zarif Hazik Johari, Edward Wong and Alan Escotto are completing the top 5. Kente from Singapore, as opposed to Jason. Is he his brother? Could be. Some very British sounding names. Ken Smith also in there in the top 8, also from Singapore. So the guys are on practice. There's about 4 minutes left. Let's go onto the full screen, and we'll try to get Amo on board. Alex, just talk us through maybe 1 or 2 of the racers who we really ought to be looking out for. I'd immediately start with some of the Bila, but he's not there. But Edward Wong is out there at the moment.
Yeah, so let's just watch Edward Wong. He's in the Lincoln Co car, Chinese manufacturer. Very, very fast car in real life, and a really good car to drive, obviously, in the copper class as well. Now he's on a lap now as he goes through the last sector. Going through the last couple corners. He's second quickest at the moment. Sumadabila is the quickest at the moment, but yeah, some good lap times there indeed.
Yeah, Sumadabila's got fastest lap at the moment. Talk to me a little bit about the cars and the different handling. Front wheel drives for a start, a little bit slower.
Yeah, so watching Daniel Uy there. Yeah, front wheel drive cars, 300 horsepower. World touring cars these are. We have 8 different manufacturers. Let me see if I can remember them all. Honda, the Hyundai. Hyundai has been the very quick car. The Honda as well. Audis, Volkswagens, all sorts of cars out there. There is a balanced performance to make sure that the cars are all roughly the same performance level, but they all drive a little bit differently. So a lot of the drivers pick the cars that kind of suit their driving style, that they feel more comfortable with, to see which one they prefer. Let's watch Daniel now coming into the pits. Let's see who else is out there. Let's see if Edward Wong is out there again. Yes, he's out there. A few drivers coming in and going out the pits. 24 drivers in the server. Great to see them all. We have some new drivers as well. Yevon David, not to be confused with Yevon David. It's the younger brother of Yevon David, who just recently raced in the gold class. Young driver. I think he's 12 years old. Very young indeed. So he's just starting out in sim racing, and he's in the copper class. Very good karter actually, from Singapore and Sri Lanka. Other drivers to look at, Francis Angelo Gonzalez. He's also in the Lincoln Co car. Let's look at Zarif Johari. Johari's actually in the Alpha, and I do love the look of the Alpha. The Alpha's such a pretty car indeed. Very good handling car, although just maybe a little bit down in power. We also have a Japanese driver. Interesting name. We've not met him yet. Brand new driver, but we're just going to call him Mode Test. F Mode Test. I guess that means fastest mode. From Japan. Nice to see him out there driving with us. He's chosen the Honda. Further back, another driver, Ken Smith, is also in a Honda as well. Rigo de Trois. There's no Rigo de Trois from Vietnam. He's in a Lincoln Co car. Quite a few Lincoln Co cars, but predominantly, mostly the drivers have picked Hondas and Hyundais. There are a couple of Audis out there as well. We have Kenneth Tay in an Audi as well. This is A3 Audi. Very good indeed. Okay, so now back. Amir Hazik, very well known sim driver, very fast sim driver, won a lot of races in the region. We've seen him in the Global Edition. We've seen him win in the Global Edition. It's great to have you on board, man.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. It's glad to be back in the commentary box a week after the first one. Yeah, looking forward to this one because Silverstone is a track that's suitable for touring cars, and we've seen plenty of action either in the World Touring Cars or in BTCC. Looking forward to this.
Yeah. So what is Silverstone like as a track? You've driven it many times in different forms of racing. Is this one of your favorites?
Oh yeah, definitely, because especially with the new arena section, it really does provide a great opportunity to overtake because it's not really like being slowed by the chicanes as opposed to the previous layout. This new layout really provides more racing action, especially through the farm and village sections. That's where a lot of overtaking can be done, either in cars or bikes. So yeah, this circuit is definitely up there, one of my favorites aside from Spa, of course.
Yeah, Spa's a great track. We'll definitely be doing Spa at some point. That's going to be a race. I tell you what, with the DRS zones and everything, it's going to be quite crazy indeed. Let's see with our championship leader, Zero Simabadabila in the Honda, still in the pit lane. He's obviously very chilled, having a little bit of race before the race actually starts. Chris Chu from Singapore, another Honda, and he's out on track. Some of the other new guys, Murugan, is now starting. So we are now into qualifying.
Yep. And that's a bit unorthodox there. Not sure what he was trying to do going offline. Maybe he got distracted for a second. Anyhow, this is the championship leader right now by just a point. Despite not winning a race last time, but he was consistent. He was second in qualifying in the first race and also second in both of the races. So he might be looking to break that dub by winning here this time.
Yeah, so here we got Sumo Dabila then going through 1, 2, now going through turn 2 now. Wonder if that's full throttle in WC car. Hard on the brakes, throws out the anchors for turn 3. Get that car pointed nicely in. These cars have a lot of oversteer because it's front wheel drive, and as the tire wears, you wear out the front tires more because all the weight is over the front axle. They have to set them up with a lot of oversteer so that it's neutral in the middle of the race. Always by the end of the race, you got to deal with a lot of understeer, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the fact that the front wheel drive cars, being these touring cars, the tire wears out even faster, especially even for a 20 lap race. So definitely they have to not put too much steering input to prevent the tires from wearing out too fast.
Yeah, it's all about those slip angles, being nice and careful with how you use the tires. Whoa, Sumo Dabila though goes fastest in Sector 1. Purple in Sector 1. That's looking really good. That's just what the championship leader wants to see. As he now goes through the very fast, famous Cops Corner. Flat out through there as he approaches Maggots and Beckett's.
Yep. And the fact that coming into Maggots and Beckett's, let's see if these cars will lift off, because the first part of Maggots, yes, he will definitely go flat. But look at that. Slight lift off the throttle, a bit of opposite lock. The car slides a bit onto the curves. Into the second part of the complex where it's a left-right, through Beckett's and then out to Chapel. This is the crucial run here. A lot of overtakes can happen, even in touring cars, because around the outside, you can go through Stowe or the inside. Depends on how good your momentum is coming out of the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel.
So he is the first car on track, so that's why we're seeing him go purple. But, and probably will see him go pole at this point, but there are quite a few other quick cars just behind. So we'll see what happens as he now comes to the last few corners. This is turns 13, sorry, not 13, what am I saying? Turns 16 and 17, Vale and Club. Now out of Club into the last corner, full throttle, flat, don't lift through there. He comes across the line now, the start, finish straight. This will be good enough for pole position at the moment. Let's see what it is. A 2:12. 2:12.6. That is quick enough. Is there enough time to do another lap? He's going to try and start another lap now.
Oh, that's
further back though.
Yeah, he's cutting it close. I don't think he has enough time to even do a second lap, because the amount of time that it takes to lap a single lap around here is about 2 minutes 12, and he was 2 minutes 15 when he restarted his lap. So there's not enough time for him to do another one.
But I tell you who has got enough time, Alan Escotto. He's just gone through turns 1, 2, and 3. He is on the front row in second position, just 2/10 off pole position. He's got enough time to finish this lap. If he can keep improving, this might be good enough to snatch pole position.
Yep, and in a top 3 that's dominated by Hondas, he's looking good here because he's the third of the Hondas. Only about 5/10 off, not probably his best, indicative of his best times yet.
Yeah, but he's had a messy first sector. Look at that. He's 5/10 down on sector 1. Oh, that's going to be a lot of time to try and recover.
Yeah, but Alex, you're right, because he's almost just 200s up from his previous best, so not enough to secure pole, I believe.
Zarif Johari now is on second position. But he's gone off track now, but he will be starting in P2 at the moment. Let's see if Alan can still find something for Pete's for the sectors 2 and 3. If he can find a bit more time, who knows? Maybe he can recover back second position. But I fear he's too far away to try and get pole at this point.
Yep, coming through to the second part of the lap. Now we're at Maggins and Beckett's. We have not seen him break the timing beam at sector 2 yet. But I bet he's still going to be a bit slower because look at that. The amount of opposite lock that he's trying to put. He's punishing those front tires and that's not going to help his speed either. Let's see if he comes out to the second sector. There you go. He loses 7 more tenths coming to sector 2.
So you called it. Just using it too much on the slip angles. Asking too much of those front tires. And he's, so that's not going to be good enough pole position. So currently, Escotto is in P3. That's still a good qualifying for him. He's right at the front. He's in with the mix. And here we are, some confirmation. There's still a bit more time. We may see some improvements of drivers just crossing the line. But at the moment, it's Sumo Debila from Philippines in pole position. Johari, the Malaysian, in second. Escotto from Philippines in third. Ken Smith up to P4. Good result for him. Mohammed Askar. Oh, the Japanese driver. Mode Test. Up to 5th position.
Don't know what we can call Mode Test. I hope he will put his real name for the next round. But yes, Test has given himself a good run here for the next part of the race. For the first race.
Okay, so it is going to be close to call. Sumo Debila is on pole, the championship leader. But Johari, we saw Johari was very, very quick in round 1. But he had a difficult, I think, race 1 or race 2. Didn't finish at the front.
Race 1, yeah. He was on pole for race 1 and then he tailed off a bit to finish 4th in that. And then he won race 2 and scoring the fastest lap too.
So it's going to be very close between those two cars. But definitely good 5 or 6 cars here capable of the race win.
Yep. And the fact that the championship leaders are also up there. That's going to make it very, very interesting indeed because they will definitely try to push each other and get the most points for this round. Interesting to note that, the race is underway now. We're underway at last. And we're viewing Escotto, but it's a good start for Sumo Debila as he comes through to Abbey and he gets the whole shot. Second is Zarif. Third is Escotto and even David is in 4th with Ken Smith 5th. They're already pulling away there, but look at the amount of Hondas behind there. It's amazing. It's an amazing sight. It's not a one-make race. As Zarif goes to the inside, he takes him at Village. A bit of contact. I think penalty points would have been given, but Zarif Hazik takes the lead. And second, Sumo Debila was caught off guard there, not knowing whether or not he was going to take a position. But then again, he did. And Zarif has taken the initial lead.
And Ken Smith is also up there into the top 5 as well. Amo Hazik alongside Des Corkill in the commentary box. 15 minutes to go. Terrific stuff from Zarif Hazik. He appeared out of nowhere and he looks pretty much in control there, although Zuriel Sumo Debila is pressing him on his wing mirror. You can see looking backwards from Sumo Debila. Alan Escotto makes it a Philippines 2-3, but look at the pressure that Zarif is under already from Zuriel Sumo Debila.
Yeah, you're right, Des. The fact that the Alpha is the least powerful car in the entire grid, so he's got to get his work cut out. He definitely has the advantage through the corners, but with Silverstone being such a power circuit, he's going to get swallowed up by the pack.
A little bit further down, the Japanese test driver is really testing our patience as he tries to come around the outside. They go through Maggots and then Beckett's, and this is a really difficult part for these touring cars, Ammo, because you've got to somehow try to stay flat to keep the straight line speed going.
Oh yeah, definitely. The fact that any bit of opposite lock or too much turning on the wheel, and that will scrub speed due to the fact that the cars are front wheel drive, so they have to be smooth as butter, but at the same time they should not be complacent off the throttle.
On the inside there, Edward Wong just on the inside of Test. Edward Wong moves up into P9. Up the front though, Zarif Hazik, having taken the lead on the 3rd corner, has managed to stay ahead of Zuriel Sumo Debila, and the Filipino, I think, knows that he is not far from putting pressure on Zarif. He is under pressure himself from Alan Escotto behind him.
Yep, definitely. And Escotto, who was on 3rd on the grid, he's still 3rd now despite the first corner shuffling, but he has to put on the pressure for this, because if Zarif gets away like he did in the second race, Zarif, in the first race he won at Nürburgring, he just definitely pulled away, so he doesn't want to let that happen again.
will just break away from the front riders for a little while. Rico Detroit from Vietnam has currently got himself into P10. He's getting up along the alongside Edward Wong. He's got Axel Mariano and Daniel Rain alongside him as well. So it really is competitive in the middle of the pack as well. Kenneth Tay currently in P7, but he's under pressure from Mohammed Fikri. But still up at the front, Zarif is, I say he was pulling away. He's not. I tell you, Zuriel, some of the Bealers managed to claw back some of that deficit that was there.
Yeah, but like I mentioned, because this is quite a power circuit, and the Alpha being down on power by at least 20 horsepower, it's up to Zarif to actually make it up through the corners. And unfortunately, in the straights, he's a sitting duck. And here comes Sumudabila. Does he come to the inside of Cops? He's brave to do so, but not just yet. And Zarif closes the door firmly in his face.
Alan Escotto, let's not forget about him. He's not made any moves as yet, Alan Escotto. He's driving the Honda. In fact, Honda 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 at the moment. It's the Alpha really feeling the pressure. Look at Zuriel. Again, makes a little move around the intricate part of the circuit up at the top end, the 3 corners, and then you've got the long hanger straight, and this is where you expect Zarif to be swallowed up, but he's not. He's still managing to hold on, Amo.
Well, actually he does, because he just got a good drive out of Chapel, and he manages to pull away inches at least to still maintain the lead. And because of the fact that he got out of there well, Sumudabila just cannot use the slipstream just to overtake him. He has to do it the old-fashioned way, like here, coming to Vale. Does he? Nope, not this time.
Tell you what, this is terrific defensive driving from Zarif, because he knows he hasn't got the power. He's expecting the attack, but at the same time, he's defending superbly as he starts lap 3, still in the lead. He's been there since the 3rd corner of the first lap.
Yep, he made that move count in the first lap. He had to, because otherwise he would definitely be swallowed up by the rest of the pack. And what he's doing right now is basically what Gilles Villeneuve did in Formula 1 back in 81. Oh, Sumudabila whacked him into the back of him. I guess he didn't expect him to break that early, but yeah, coming back to Gilles Villeneuve in 81 in Spain, in Jarama, he was in an underpowered Ferrari. Ill-handling Ferrari. He had the power to pull away. So this is quite the opposite. Zarif is actually underpowered, but he's better through the corners. So he's using that to his advantage, only just for now.
A little bit further down, I can tell you, Sean Says found himself in a fair amount of trouble. He's spun off the track, and having been in a decent position, he in the top 10, he finds himself down in P23, and he's taken a Shea Murrigan with him as well. So plenty going on. Axel Mariano is making a move on Mohammed Fikri down in P7. Let's just focus a little bit further down. When you're in the middle of the pack, Ammo, what's your focus on? Is it just the car in front of you and working your way one place after another? Or can you fixate yourself on saying, hey, I can get a podium here?
Oh, just as you said that, yeah, he's going to go. Axel nearly went for the inside. Yeah, talking about whether or not you're where you are in the midfield in relation to the other drivers, it's especially clear that you need to work your way up slowly, because you don't want to push it too much so that you will drop further behind and get into the clutches of drivers behind. But at the same time, you mustn't be over exuberant in the overtakes. So right now, Mariano, he's actually in a good position. He's in the gaggle of cars right in front of him, where he's still in touch. He can make those overtakes possible within the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, we had a little look there at Francis Angelo Gonzalez. He's in P13. But look at the manoeuvring going on ahead of him. Shazul Izam makes a move on Regal Detroit. Can't get around the outside. 3 blue livery cars there. They're a little bit awkward to see on the for the eRacing Lincoln Co.
Oh, something happened in front of the first of the Lincoln Co cars there. Looks like Kenneth Tay might have lifted off a bit, because he might have had a penalty and he had to give the position back. So he's in the clutches of these guys now. It's going to be a 4-way scrap. Make it 5 if Francis actually gets close to the 4 of them for 9th.
Yeah, Kenneth Tay is in the front there. He's under intense pressure from Edward Wong. Good call on Kenneth Tay. He was struggling there, and he's can't really pull away from Edward Wong. Will break away from that. Behind them, Shazul Iman made a move on the inside as well. Whoa, it's congestion. It is like that North-South Highway once again.
Yes, definitely. The fact that the North-South Highway is not that packed nowadays because of the obvious reasons. But yeah, look at that. The Lincoln Co was really right in the back of the Audi, and they're still side by side onto the Wellington Straight. Will there be tears coming at the end of it? coming into Brooklands. Oh, just about. And they kept it clean, but that Lincoln car looks really second-handed.
Kenneth Tay just tries to hold on to the inside line, and he has done well. Edward Wong is being held at arm's length, and good defensive work from Kenneth Tay. Let's go back up to the front, where Zarif has pulled a 1.3 second deficit ahead of Zoriel Sumadebilia. Now, Sumadebilia, second in both races and round 1 of the season. Amo, looking like he might have to settle for P2 here as well.
That'll be a string of second places in qualifying and in races. So maybe we can't say that he's the bridesmaid of the bride because he's leading the championship right now. But yeah, definitely he'll have to work his way through the pack here if he wants to win a race here in this round.
We're on board with Alan Escotto as well. He's in P4. Young Yevon David, he's got himself in P4 as well. Also in the Honda. I wish we could change the liveries somehow, but the Honda of the 12-year-old Yevon David ahead of the Japanese test driver. So it's stretching out just a little bit. Ken Smith is in 6th place, who's putting Test under a little bit of pressure. Smith from Singapore, Test from Japan.
Yep, and the fact that the top 4 themselves are also breaking away, so not much of a lead group. They're still quite close to each other in earshot by at least 5 seconds, but the real battle here is for 5th place behind the test driver. And a nice little touch there from Axel. He's got a picture with Alex Young right there. That might be him.
Test, Smith, Fikri, Axel Mariano. They are in a straight line. I'm keeping an eye on the leaderboard. Zarif's lead is still about a second and a half from Zoriel Sumadebilia, who's a second and a half clear of Escotto, who's a second and a half clear of Yevon David, who's 4 seconds clear of Test, who is the front one of this little group here. Mohamed Fikri, Axel Mariano there as well. Behind them, Edward Wong and Regal de Troyes in a good little battle. But it's stretching out a little bit. The danger with Silverstone, because there's so many long straights, you can get a little bit stretched, Amo.
Yeah, correct, guys. And the fact that it's not a stop-start nature track where it will spread the field out even further, but it really shows the power deficits in some of the cars that comes to the fore. Especially the fact that the Hondas are performing very well here, while some cars like the Alpha, not in the hands of Zarif at least, are struggling.
From a neutral's point of view, I'm devastated that the drivers are showing a little bit more caution than they did in round number 1. It was like a stock car affair in round 1, but a lot more restraint being shown by the drivers this time, and we're not going to get half as many kicked out. In fact, no drivers are being kicked out so far, which to me is devastating.
Well, we're missing one driver, actually. Looking through the timesheets. Yeah, we had 24 starters. I'm not sure who went out of the race there, but probably it is due to disqualification, so we will get that in the championship standings later.
A little bit further down, Zoriel Sumadebilia can't get close, can he? It's over a second. Long straights, and Zarif, who we thought would struggle on the long straights, it's quite the reverse. He's been able to pull clear. Zarif is who had a very, very good round 1. Zarif, he won race 1 and got nowhere in race 2, so maybe he's a first race wonder boy.
Well, we have to wait and see whether or not the second race he might fade away because of the power deficit that the Alpha suffers. But so far so good for him, and the fact that he's literally throwing the gauntlet here against the other drivers, whether or not he can challenge for the championship.
Battle of P7. Axel Mariano is on the tail of Edward Wong. Wong in the blue. Axel tries to take the slipstream. Won't move away. Regal de Troyes from Vietnam is just behind him. We're on board with Edward Wong in P7. Mariano, again, can't get quite close enough.
So far now, yeah, and the fact that Edward actually got ahead of he's been ahead of Mariano. But yeah, look at the damage on the front of that car. He's been in the wars.
Yeah, maybe there was some contact in the early stages. Maybe that explains the reticence that we've seen so far. Back up at the front, Zarif Hazik. He's enjoying himself out there and looks very, very composed. Hitting all the corners just about right. I wouldn't call it tentative, but conservative racing at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely does. The fact that he doesn't show that much histrionics in the way that he drives, it kind of shows that with the proper hands, this Audi, the Alpha, the much unfancy Alpha, can be a race winner.
How can you not fancy an Alfa Romeo there? They're beautiful vehicles, but on the racetrack, yeah, they're not got the most reliable reputation. Sumadebilia 1.3 seconds down. Is he just holding back? Because if he is, he's leaving it very late to make a move, Ammo.
Oh yeah, there's the fact that the gap was 1.3 seconds to 1.1 is yo-yoing a bit, especially through the fast and slow sections. Not sure if he's really on the pace or he's going to conserve his tires, but I think, I'm not going to stretch my neck out here and say that overtake is going to happen, but he's definitely going to go all or nothing for this final lap.
It's worth a mention for young Yevon David, 12 years of age. I believe this is his debut for us, and that would be a very, very competitive 4th place if this is how it finishes with 1:49 to go. We're on the circuit. Will we get there? Ken Smith is the man who got connected. Apologies to Ken. So it was 24 at the start. It's 23 now. But Ken Smith's the only casualty, which is quite an improvement on round 1 from this Copper Class group.
Yep, you're right there, Des. And the fact that with such a big circuit and the cars being relatively small compared to, let's say, the DTM, the big brethrens, the drivers can actually take it quite easier in terms of hitting each other or trying to make those moves.
Mohamed Fikri under pressure from Edward Wong. 1 minute still to race. Still Zarif holds on that 2nd+ lead over Suma Debilia. Alan Escotto from Philippines in P3 as well. Other names, the debutant from Japan currently holding on behind Yevon David for 5th place. 3 seconds clear of Mohamed Fikri, but Fikri under intense pressure from Edward Wong. Wong goes on the outside. Right, will Wong make his move here? Tries to make the move. He's got to get alongside at the very least, but I tell you what, Fikri has defended that well. No, Wong manages to go around the outside, and Wong takes P7.
And the fact that he had the right to move to the outside because he definitely had the inside line coming to left field. So, really good racecraft there from Edward to actually get the position and won over Fikri.
Mohamed Fikri, though, hasn't given this one up. Immediately, he's looking to try to get back as they sweep around Cop's really quick corner. And Mohamed Fikri is closing in on Edward Wong. That's the battle for P6. We're on board Axel Mariano, who I'm sure is just waiting for some kind of an error. In the meantime, the race is about to end, and Zarif Hazik is going to have an easy race home towards victory here. Or is he? Because Suma Debilia has closed that gap from 1.4 to 0.9 of a second, Ammo.
Oh yes, it does, and definitely within that second, if it was over a couple laps ago, he might have challenged for the win, but not this time. He will have to settle for 2nd position, Des.
Unless there's a mistake from Zarif, but he's unlikely to do that. Good, safe driver.
Oh, no, I really thought he was going to dive through the inside there, but nope. Somebody thought better of it and settles for 2nd for a 4th straight time.
It would be poor old Zoriel Suma Debilia. Zarif Hazik takes the victory for Malaysia, ahead of Philippines, Suma Debilia, ahead of Escotto. Yevon David on debut gets an enormously creditable P4 ahead of the test Japanese debutant. Edward Wong in P6, holding off Fikri and Axel Mariano, who accelerated towards the line. A good 9th for Regal de Troyes. Shazrul Iman picking up P10. But this was a really good, solid victory for Zarif Hazik. Took the lead in the first lap, Ammo, and never really looked back despite 1 or 2 moments of pressure from Zoro Suma Debilia.
Yep, and he was given the choice of straws. He chose the longest one. He didn't clutch the short straw, definitely. And he just made that move stick. I think Suma Debilia might protest that a bit because it was a bit hard, but that's pretty much the pen and parcel of touring car racing. He made the chance work and he just pulled away. It was a definite demolition job.
Although you're not quite in race control, if you were one of the drivers there, would you be making an appeal for that move?
No, I think because it's at the start of the race and the fact that he left. If I were Suma Debilia, I left the door open a bit. I will actually blame myself because I could have defended that better.
Jamal Lacuna offers his congratulations to Alan Escotto and to Zoriel. Keeping it in the Philippines, boys. Let's get a little bit of a reaction from elsewhere. That'll be good as well. But Zarif Hazik has picked up his 2nd win in 3 races. Tell you what, in a 12 race season, 6 round season, that is one heck of a solid start.
Yeah, definitely 2 wins on the trot. Well, not on the trot. He's 2 first race wins on the trot. He's putting his championship credentials to no harm. He is definitely staking a claim that he will win this Copper class.
Haris Shami saying congratulations to Zarif Hazik. A little bit of Malaysia in the group chat as well. Great to get your feedback and reaction, boys. As a driver, as a racer, Amo, I'll ask you once I've given the results. Are you aware of people watching you, or are you just focused on the race itself?
Oh, definitely the latter, because if I start having doubts on my mind of what people say, then you can't perform. You just have to, like in real life, you put the visors on. At the outside world, doesn't matter. It's you and the road and your car.
Points right the way down to P15 through Kenneth Wong. Now the drivers have got the opportunity to just think about how they will perform in this reverse grid race. We're at the Silverstone circuit, a beautiful near 6 kilometre circuit, but a real difficult task for the drivers in the World Touring cars. This is eRacing GP Copper Class Edition race number 2. Amo alongside me, Des Corkill, in the commentary box. 30 seconds to go. How do you see race number 2 going, particularly with the reverse grid, Amo?
Well, we saw a very, very tentative first race. I think the mayhem will be broken out in this second race. Fingers crossed. It might not, it might happen, but for the sake of entertainment, let's just hope that the drivers put on a good show.
Daniel Oy is on pole position, and Daniel Oy has been overtaken by Izwan Ahmed and Hendra Ade. Izwan Ahmed is first into the first corner. Daniel Oy got off to a slow start, and he's under intense pressure. Currently in P3, but there's a whole galaxy of cars trying to push through. Flores there. Francis Angeles is there. Murugan. Kenneth. Big crash. Francis Angeles and Edward Wong crashing out.
And didn't I say that mayhem will be broken out in the second race? I think I spoke a bit too soon there. It happened immediately in the first corner.
But Izwan Ahmad has kept clear of all the mayhem behind him, taken Hendra Ade, and credit to Daniel Oy. After a dreadful start, he's been able to hold on to P3 and is making a move in this corner for P2 is the Singaporean. Daniel Oy, corner, car number 86.
Driven in real life by Esteban Guerreri, one of the front runners in the World Touring Car Cup. And here he is driving that car at the front, at the sharp end of the grid in third place. Will he make the move early as possible? Because we saw like Zarif in the first race. Once he took that lead, he just defended for all his life and pushed when he needed to. Here he comes into Cups. Not just yet. That was a bit of an optimistic move, to say the least.
Tell you what, controlling yourself around Cops is difficult. Daniel Oy goes into P2, takes P1. Timed that one absolutely to perfection. Then goes through the triple curve there. That was wonderfully done. He saw the mistake from Izwan and Hendra and has got himself up into P1. Credit to Daniel Oy.
Well, he got 2 birds with 1 stone, that's for sure. He just saw the inside line was being vacated by those 2 drivers. They didn't defend it, and he took his chance very well. So right now it will be a question of whether he can actually hold on to that lead, or will inexperience come into play? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, he's got himself a 2-second lead, I tell you what, because Hendra's gone backwards, so has Shazwell Iman. Sean Sayers, the man who's come up into P2. Sean had a problem in race number 1, but the Singaporean, under pressure from Kenneth Tay, who goes into P3. Sean holds on, but Tay is in P3. Escotto 4, Hendra Ade 5. Great battling. Now then, let's go down to P10. Once again, it's ultra competitive in there.
Oh yeah, definitely does. And the fact that the midfield is just that close, anything can happen when we're watching any of these guys. So far, it has been clean. No one has been jettisoned from the race just yet, but there's been a lot of argy-bargy, and look, he just got hit. Ronaldo has been hit from behind from one of the fellow Hondas. He manages to keep it together and not... Oh, too late. He spins. Everyone spins, and on to the sausage curve they go. That was just a concertina effect turned into absolute mayhem.
Absolutely, all kinds of stuff going on there. Kenneth Tay stays out of the trouble. A little bit of lag issues there. Let's have a look at Zuriel Sumadabilia, who's had 3 second places. He's got himself up into P14 at the moment. Stayed out of the trouble, but he's not far behind. That's the good news for Zuriel Sumadabilia. With all the racing going on ahead of him, he's just been able to make his way up into that pack. So do not write off another podium for Zuriel Sumadabilia.
Yeah, but the fact that the guy who won the first race, Zarif, he's well below the top 20. He's in 21st. There he is right now. He has not made the moves that he would have wanted. And in an Alfa Romeo, which has not been proven to be an overtaker, at least when it's in impact, he is struggling a bit here.
It's a very different race, isn't it? You're leading and holding off the pressure. When you've got to go and try and overtake racers in an underpowered car, it really is a problem. Talking about trying to overtake racers, Daniel Oy, look at that for a lead. He really took advantage on Maggots and has capitalized with a 2.4 second lead.
Actually, he overtook at Cops, but yeah, once he took that lead, he's never looked back at from that point in time. But he would still have pressure from a guy who's in 4th place, who was actually 3rd in the first race, Escotto. So he'll have to keep an eye on him because he's only just 4 seconds behind, as he's actually gotten through, I think. That's actually Kenneth Terry inside. And he outbraked himself coming into Vale, and he has taken 3rd place. So one more threat has been, one less driver to worry about for Escotto, and one more to worry about for Oy.
Yeah, Kenneth Tay has dropped from P3 to P5 in the Audi. Escotto's got himself up into P3. Sean Sett is 2 seconds ahead of him in P2. But Daniel Oy, wow. Gosh, didn't see this one coming. He was on pole. He lost that lead. Then managed to stay in contention, retook the lead, and is now a 1.5 clear. Is he good enough to hold on? 10 minutes still to race. It's still a long, long way to the finish line for Daniel Oy, but so far, so good, Amo Hazik.
You're right there, Des. And the fact that he's got a buffer in between him and one of the fast guys, which is Sean Scheer. And the fact that Alpha has not been closing up to him since the start of this race. So far, so good for him. He just has to keep his head in and not lose his way for the rest of the 9.5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, there is Sean Sear in P2. The difference between him and Daniel Oy is, as you can see, just 1.5 seconds. It has been as much as 2.5 seconds. Now, is that Daniel just driving a little bit more conservatively? On the last lap, tell you what, Sean Say was 0.8 of a second quicker than Daniel Oy. He is closing in, Amo.
Yep, you're right there, Des. And the fact that visually, you can see, not just the gap only, but visually, he is closing up on him. So I guess you're right there, because he is taking it conservatively. He doesn't want to pressure the tires, but he might not want to do that too much. Otherwise, he'll actually be in the clutches of Seiya, and he'll actually overdrive the car.
Okay, we're beginning to get 1 or 2 casualties. Kenneth Tay is the latest to be pinged out of the game. Good battle now then. Joriel Sumadebelia, he's making progress. He's got himself up into P9 here. Let's just see what's behind Joriel Sumadebelia. A little bit of a gap behind him. He's got Hendra Ade, Sri Murugan, Edward Wong, and Test from Japan ahead of him. But Sumadebelia, slowly but surely making his way. And he's still got more than half the race to go, Amo Hazik.
Yep, Des. About 8 seconds. Sorry, he's 10 seconds behind Oy, so a win is pretty much a very small possibility now.
But a podium's a possibility if he can just carry on working through.
Oh yeah, 8 seconds behind Escotto, barring the fact that Escotto has gotten past Edward Wong in the one of the Audis just now who was in front of him. I think it was Kenneth Wong. So podium might be a possibility if Escotto makes mistakes, but so far he has pulled away a bit from Iman, who's in 4th.
Okay, let's look at Zarif, who won race number 1. He's made his way happily up into P11 now, although he's under pressure from Kenneth Wong. It's Jahan Kalam who is his next target, but he's got a 1.5 to make up as Zarif. But P11, he did this in round 1 of the series, Amo. He won race number 1 and didn't have the power to pick up any kind of a point whatsoever in race 2.
Yep, and again, it's the situation repeating itself for him, because first race, yes, he won. Second race, he didn't collect any points. I forgot where he finished. I think he was just outside the top 10. If he gets a point now, that will break that duck of at least scoring a point in the second race. But yes, seems to be his Achilles heel right now, not scoring points in the second race.
Looking back up on lap number 4, he is visually closing in. We are on board Sean Sear, who's in 2nd place. Daniel Oy is in 1st, 2 Singaporean racers, and slowly but surely he's closing in. He was a second quicker on that last lap, so it was a 2.5 second gap. Now it's, well, 1.3 officially at the moment, but it's got down to under a second in the past.
And looking at the lap charts, there's he was almost a second faster than Oi, who is out in front right now. So, yeah, he's not pushing that much. He's backing off a bit, but at the same time, the gap is still just about a second. So, I guess this is the cars being the factor as well. It's not just the drivers either.
I can tell you that Francis Angelo Gonzalez got himself DQ'd. Test from Japan. Kenneth Tay, Iswan Ahmad are all casualties. 16 racers out on the track. Our focus at the moment very much on the battle for P1, where Daniel Oy, who since that manoeuvre on lap number 3 has been able to maintain this lead, and having lost a little bit of time, looks like he's just making it back. That lead is now back up to a second and a half, Amo.
Yep. Once again, just like in the first race, it has become a bit of an impasse between both drivers in terms of gaps, at least. It could be 1 second, it could be 1.5 seconds, it could be back to 1 and back to 1.5. So, the only difference right now is whether or not one of these drivers will make a mistake. Then the cars will not be a factor anymore.
Once again, Zarif Hazik is out of the race. So there will be no points for Zarif. But Suma Debilia, he is looking. That is Murugan, who is just gone past. And Zuriel is then pushed back by Murugan.
Oh, naughty, naughty. He definitely had the inside there. He just shoved him a bit. But whether or not Suma Debilia will protest on that will remain to be seen. But in my view, that was just a bit more touring car oriented in terms of how it was done.
Well, Sri Murugan says, hey, you may be winning the overall championship, but you're going to have to work really hard to get the better of me. So, Suma Debilia will have another go, perhaps.
Yep, they can't go through cops because that's not really a full-on overtaking maneuver unless you're already side by side. Through Megas and Beckers, it might be a possibility, but again, he just needs to be ahead. A bit of touching. Penalty points might be accumulated by this point. It's now whether or not Suma Debilia will try to wait until the end of the Hangar Straight to get the move done. But so far, at least he looks very impatient in behind Murugan.
Well, we're in the final 4 minutes. So when there's 10 minutes to race, yeah, there's a bit of time. But you look at the gap between Murugan and Edward Wong ahead of him. It's 6 seconds. So Suma Debilia has got to get past Murugan if he's even got a quarter of a chance of catching up with Edward Wong. But Murugan is defending really well. This is good driving by the young Malaysian.
Yep, he's driving off his skin. He's clawing his way to actually, for hell or leather, to keep Suma Debilia right behind him. But yeah, as you rightfully said, there's his chances, even a quarter of a chance to actually get on the podium has now evaporated because there's about 3.5 minutes left. And he's well behind, actually. Third place Escotto, which is now about 11 seconds. So right now, the chance of podium is gone unless something major happens like that. Who will actually
Escotto being barged in the back by Shazwell Iman. Maybe it was Escotto leaving, braking a little bit earlier, but Shazwell was taken by surprise.
Any more than that, and he'll definitely be disqualified. So that kind of tap will at least be worth about 10 points. So he's gonna have to be careful. He's in a really good position right now to score a double podium, double third places here. So he doesn't want to risk anything. And the guy behind will definitely think of the same too.
Still, Daniel Oy has the lead, but it's only 1.2 seconds. 2 minutes and 41 to go. So we've got at least, 2 more laps to go, I think. Maybe more. 2 more laps for Daniel Oy to hold off Sean Sayre. Sean is trying to close the gap a little bit. Escotto's under pressure once again from Shazwell Iman. Shazwell, I think, will try to make a move in his Honda, but they're equally powered Hondas. And Alan Escotto is not going to make it easy for him.
Who's going to blink first? Well, that remains to be seen. Through Meggins and Beckers, they go again. So far, no one has dared to attempt the overtaking maneuver here yet. It definitely has to wait until Stowe. Can he get the drive here? I think just about. Yep, he's just got the right amount of speed in the exit. He's in the toe, on the Hangar Straight. Will he get to the inside or outside? Escort defense in the middle. He leaves the door open on the inside, but he's too far behind. So, even with a slight toe and a slightly better exit, he can't get it unless he gets it here. No, Escort actually made a mistake there. He locked up a bit, raised the rear wheel, and Shazro tried to go the inside, but unfortunately, no cigar yet.
So Daniel Oy still holds on to that lead. Sean Say now suddenly finds himself under a little bit of pressure from Alan Escotto. 1:30 still to go. So they will go into the home straight. This will be the last lap. So Daniel Oy just needs to make sure that he doesn't make any silly mistakes. Same for Sean Say and Alan Escotto, and it will be them in the podium positions.
Yep, and the fact that right now the pressure is on Saya because he can't catch up to Oy, and he's got three drivers now in a four-way train for second place. So pressure is really on him. He was the guy pressuring the guy in front. Now he's the one being pressured in this last lap.
A quick look at that Murugan versus Sumudabila battle, and Murugan, big kudos to Muru. He has held off the championship lead, and Sumudabila's reign of podium place is going to come to an end at 3. Sumudabila will try to get past, and once again, Muru, you shall not pass, my friend.
he's gone Murugandolf there, but unfortunately, that might be incurring the wrath of the stewards because that is some dirty defending. You're only allowed to block there once, and he's moved quite a few times. Even if it's to break the toe, that was really aggressive defending.
I tell you, Sumudabila will not be happy about that. He may well be able to appeal and pick up a place. Muru might find himself dropping down, but that's a cracking battle. We'll just hold on to that just for a little while more. See if Sumudabila makes a move once again.
Oh.
Once again, Muru is saying, that's not really fair, is it?
No, if I was in Sumudabila's shoes, I would definitely be flashing my headlights and try to get him in any which way because this is really hard defending. I don't know if it's on the lines of being legal, but it's definitely not really clean.
Voltaire, Harris and Jamal Akunu are all having a bit of a giggle and saying penalties are coming. Shazzle has been kicked out of the game. Escotto will pick up P3. Daniel Oy has got the lead. We are, as I say, in the final lap. Sean Say, Alan Escotto, Edward Wong will be 2, 3 and 4. But Daniel Oy, this has been a really composed performance.
Saya actually nearly got a look at the... Escotto had a look at the inside Saya there. Luckily, they both did get disqualified. But, wow. Even on the last lap, they're still pushing for it. Yes, anyway, Oy takes the race win.
Sean Say second. Escotto picks up a podium ahead of Edward Wong. Muru in 5th, but I suspect he'll be going down just a little bit too much. Illegal defence, says Jamal. Yes, I think everybody agrees with you. Sumudabila, P6 for him officially. Hendra 7. Yevon David, great job from young Yevon. Kenneth Wong in 9. Yahan Kalan 10. Axel Mariano and Adam Kondrolochis, Chris Chu. Ronaldo Julie are the other finishers. Those 4 out of the points. 14 finishers. So I did get a little bit of a mayhem that I really do desire.
I did call it at the start that the second race is going to be even more chaotic than the first. Luckily, I'm somewhat vindicated in the in the most wrong possible way. So we're looking at the comments here. Lacuna, the bronze championship leader right now. Yes, you're supporting for your fellow countrymen, and you have every right to. He did an absolutely stunning race to actually finish third, and he was very lucky too that the man in 4th got disqualified when it really mattered. Wow, what a race. That was better than the first, that's for sure.
Wow, thank you so much, Ammo. Thank you so much, Des. That was a really exciting race to watch. Some really good driving there. Some also not so good driving there. I think stewards are going to have a lot to look at. I think Ammo, you're going to be helping out the stewards as well. The great thing about the Copper class is it gives opportunity for a lot of beginners to come into the sport. But I saw a few drivers maybe not knowing what's acceptable. Like Murugan just now weaving down the straights and in the braking zones. That's definitely not allowed. He'll definitely get some sort of penalty for that. I think maybe there's a lot of drivers in the reverse grid race also slowing down in the corners at the wrong point and a lot of contact. The drivers need to know that there's a 50 incident points. And if you keep having the contacts, incident points rack up. And you always need to try and make sure you have a good buffer. Because you're racing against someone and you have that contact. If you go over 50 points, you get ejected from the race.
Yep.
But here is that leaderboard now.
And the fact that, as you said, the Copper class is pretty much drivers who are so habituated this, it gives you a raw experience.
So good to see Uy taking his first win. Sia in 2nd. Escotto another podium. Great drive for him for 3rd. Wong in 4th. Murugan you know, good job, finished P5, but let's see if he stays out after all the penalties have been fleshed out. Sumo Bila, championship leader with 6. That's a good day for him. Putra in 7, David in 8th, Wong in 9th, and Kalam in 10th.
Yep.
So thanks for joining us, Amo. Some really good racing there. We had a fantastic Go class, didn't we? Go class was fantastic. We saw some really great last lap overtakes. Oh, all 4 races we had last lap overtakes or last lap defending. So I can't wait for the final tomorrow.
Yep.
Then we had Copper class, some really good racing. I really enjoyed that the race 1 for the Copper class was a big improvement from round 1 we saw at Nürburgring, where race 1 was a bit of a mess. So the driving standard is improving, but like we saw in that reverse grid race, still some drivers need to learn what's acceptable and what's not.
Yep. And the fact that Murugan's blocking has caught the attention of a lot of people in the comments will definitely get a reprimand, or maybe even some penalties involved in that, because that's not the example that they should really follow, especially if you are a budding sim racer who wants to join these competitions.
Absolutely. Okay, so now thank you so much for joining us. I've been on air for I think 3 hours now. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, in the afternoon we'll start streaming at 1:45 KL Hong Kong time, and we'll start off with the bronze drivers in the WTCR cars, then move to the silver drivers in the DTM cars, and that's always exciting racing, and then finish with the gold final in the DTM cars. See who's going to win. We saw some great racing obviously in round 1. Round 2 finals now coming up. Anything left else to say, Amo? Did you enjoy the driving today?
Well, yeah, especially the gold class, because once again the standards of driving is being raised up even higher and higher because of these guys, especially with the final lap lunges.
Yeah.
And they still managed to not get themselves to qualify, as we saw in the bronze race. So really, that's the kind of thing that everyone should aim for.
Okay, so thanks very much. Thanks, Amo. Thanks, Des. This us at eRacing GP Southeast Asia. This is the Global Edition Europe, the second Global Edition we've done around the European tracks. Stay tuned for the finals coming up tomorrow at 1:45.